bought it. It's the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington.
And I'm Gail Bennington.
And this is the Bennington Show, the only father-daughter radio show in the history of radio. And right off the bat, Gail, we got Ricky Gervais tickets to give out.
Oh!
Yeah. You got to be here tonight at the K Playhouse in Hunter College in New York City tonight, 7 p.m. You got to be at the K Playhouse at Hunter College in New York City. 844 Rock God. Call in and win. 844 Rock God. We'll take winners off the air. Ricky Gervais and friends tonight. A work in progress. And that's with Ron Bennington and Jim Norton. 844 Rock God. Call in to win. He has done this kind of shows in London before, but never in the United States of America. So you're here for an historic night, but you got to be here tonight in New York City to pick up these tickets. 844 Rock God. 844 Rock God. Call and we will take winners off the air. Galen, of course, we had another terrible shooting last night.
Yeah, it was horrible to wake up to that news.
I believe usual. This is a wake-up call for America. I think the end of the innocence. I think we're going to do something about this one.
You think this is the one?
Yeah. I think we can put up with a lot, but not this. You know? I'm watching the television now, and they've got a whole procession set up for this cop, and it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking.
It's so sad, and as always, it's sad when you hear the news, and then it's sad when you just feel like, oh yeah, of course this will happen. I mean, how weird is it that we talk about this, and then how many days, weeks away are we from the next one, and that one's going to be horrible as well.
I think this is the wake-up call. I don't think Americans want to put up with it anymore. I think we'll figure out this deal and how to handle it. I believe in this country. I believe in America, like Vito's favorite movie. Like making a big deal, like I believe in America. You going to this show tonight, Chris?
I will be there.
You're going to be there with bowels on.
Bowels out.
At some point when I'm on stage, and I'm only doing a very short set, just go, ow! After I say something, ow!
I definitely will.
Earl, you going to be there tonight?
Unfortunately, I will not be able to attend.
Because I want to bring you up on stage and do our old wheelbarrow thing where I hold onto your ankles and you run with your hands.
That's going to kill.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm like, can any of you bastards beat us in the wheelbarrow? And off we go. Because I'm an eclectic type of guy. You know? You don't know what you're getting with me.
A loose cannon.
That hurt because I didn't think of myself that way.
Is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
I think of you as in your face. It's kind of
I am pretty much in people's faces. Like, what are you fucking looking at?
Step back a little.
Yeah. I'm right nose to nose in the audience. And I challenge them on their belief system. Your parents are terrible. Stuff like that. You call that a baby? That's the way I work. I take what people have decided is sacred and I shat upon it,
Good. I think people need to have that happen to them.
Good for me. Good for me for being so edgy.
Do you like when people say, good on you?
You know what I like to do? I like to get right on the edge of the stage. That's how edgy I am. I always say this, if you're in the middle. Yeah, I go, if you're in the middle, you're taking up too much room, dude. I'm calling my new special Ass Grass or grass. Nobody rides for free in this fucking hog. It's going to be a picture of me on a Harley. 2 fucking middle fingers out. And I'm running over a beloved family member of yours. Our buddy Half Astronaut, he created that beautiful, beautiful rocking chair.
Oh my God, I love it so much.
Yeah. Well, you can vote for Half Astronaut and Gary Weeks and Company to win the 2018 Texas Works Award in the workshop category. We have a link up on our Twitter tweet.
At Bennington Show on Twitter. At Bennington Show on Twitter. That's the link to vote for Half Astronaut.
Well, let me get that down.
At Bennington Show. That's on Twitter.
Okay. I see now. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to RT that.
Yes, RT it. That stands
Vote
for
and
retweet
RT.
it. Though my mind is going through so many changes. I have a TV show I want you guys to check out.
What's that?
I've only seen 3 episodes so far, and it's called The Romanovs.
Is that Amazon?
No, it's Prime.
Okay. I think that's Amazon.
They dropped the Amazon. They call it Prime something now. I think Prime Netflix. Does that make sense?
Just call it Prime Rib.
Well, that's a food, Chris, so we don't want to confuse people in this business.
What goes on in the Romanovs?
I'm not going to fucking give it away.
I just
all
find
right?
it like a little tease.
Yeah, I don't want you to Wikipedia it
Yeah,
either.
he's going to read the whole thing. He's going to read all the spoilers.
He's a jag. Wait a minute, that could be good for my fucking in your face set. You people are jags. What the fuck are you looking at, man? Get a new perspective. Turn around. And then turn around. Bright eyes. Every now and then I tell a joke. Oh, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't think my material's strong enough tonight.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, at the very least, you're going to shock them.
How's this for a joke? Oh, I see. Earl's here tonight, and every time he sneezes, he pees his pants.
I like it. Edgy.
Yeah, it's some of my edgy work that I do. I work piss, shit, jizz.
I love all this.
Ew.
yeah.
Ew, Chris.
Like, I'll do my crowd work, too, and I'll be like, what is your name, sir?
I'm Chris.
And do you have a dog?
Yes, I do.
Why don't you go home and fuck it?
Oh my God,
Dog
this comedian
fucker.
is hilarious.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a dog fucking on this today.
He tells it like it is.
Yeah. I'll tell it like it is or like it should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shoulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. That's the Bennington Show tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. And when I'm I'm only going up to do a short set. So it's kind of like me and Norton are going to just be in the middle of his special.
Okay.
But when I'm done, I'm taking, when I'm like, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And then Ricky's coming back on stage and I'm just taking the microphone and throwing at him as hard as I can.
He's not going to expect that shit.
Yeah.
He's not going to expect it, but he is going to respect it.
He will. And then I'm like, oh, I guess they don't do a lot of catching in soccer, do they, Ricky Gervais? I'm trying to get the nickname Gervais started for him. Can't get it going.
I'll start calling him Gerbs.
You're not allowed to even be close to him.
No, I'm not.
You were told you couldn't be in the control room
It's
yesterday.
like I have a restraining order.
Beep, 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 beep. Dan from Philly's saying, that sounds about what I'm talking about. That sounds about right for somebody from Philly. So I'm from outside of Philly, so I'm just outside of your face. Hey, send me in the Italian, would you?
Bring
Send
us
me in any
Vito.
Italian.
Bring us him.
I know he's busy taking requests. I'll be doing more of these too today. Tickets for tonight. Get close to your phone box. Get close to your phone box because we're going to be giving tickets away throughout the show today. From your own phone box. Who does that for people? No one but us.
That's tickets to Ricky Gervais and Friends, a work in progress with Ron Bennington and Jim Norton. That's tonight at the K Playhouse, Hunter College, New York City.
Vito, when's the next Duke game?
Sunday at 1.
Shit, that's when the fucking football games are on, dude.
Yeah, Sam Darnold's hurt, so I'm going to be watching the Duke game instead of watching the Jets game on Sunday.
You realize there's other fucking games.
But I'm so high on this Duke team that
How many games do they play? They're like 38?
Yeah, because they don't. It's not like an NBA schedule where they're playing like a bunch a week. It's like 1 or 2 games per week.
Yeah, you're just new to college basketball?
Dude, I never really cared about it before, but this team, I just want. I've been following this Zion kid for like 2 years now.
Oh, you've been on that bandwagon?
Yeah.
Where did he go to high school?
He went to high school. He's from Spartanburg, North Carolina or South
We
Carolina.
call it North Carolina or
Spartan
South
High.
Carolina. Right, Earl? Earl's from there. He's a Native American.
My people are from there.
Earl's a Native American. That was good, Gail. Gail, you heard about Ruth Bader Ginsburg falling down, right?
I have.
Now, new reports that her ribs crushed just from lying down in her own bed.
No. She's so fragile and old. Please take care of yourself.
I heard the AMT call was like this. Yes, we've got a mummy in the back of this.
No. Yeah.
Half Astronaut was very fucking happy that we gave him a little shout out. Shout out. Oh, Ezra, that is a good name for the special In Yo Face. Motherfuckers. Well, Gail, we planned on putting this off, but are you ready?
I am ready.
Earl, are you ready?
Born ready.
Then let's do this. Judas.
We actually have an
Yes.
intro.
Then hit it.
What?
Push play.
What trivia will Chris and Vito get wrong? What trivia will they get right? Federal scientists have been working around the clock to compile the hardest Starship Troopers questions from across the known universe. Would you like to know more? Winning Starship Troopers trivia guarantees citizenship. They'll keep answering questions, and one will win. Welcome to Starship Troopers Trivia.
That opening was unbelievable.
Wow. I forgot about Starship Troopers trivia, but that intro made me pretty happy though, because I love that score.
I love the movie. It's
I-
the best movie in the world.
You fucking liar.
I fucking can't wait for this.
I hope you guys are ready.
I mean, I've seen the movie dozens of times.
Me
know it for
too.
sure. No, you haven't.
Now,
This will be interesting. Both of you claim to be super fans.
now, before we jump into this, I met a guy the other night named David Lovelace. I hope I doesn't mind me saying his whole thing. And he worked on Starship Troopers. And do you remember this scene where they were like in their class, but they were kind of like on future internet
Yeah.
with each
Yeah.
other?
Yeah.
Do you remember what they created?
Like, it's two faces,
Two faces.
and they're
It's
and they're
Johnny
and they're
it's
kissing.
Carmen.
Yes.
And the stars of Starship Troopers star kissing.
Well, David Lovelace worked on that and has given me this
Oh my God, that's awesome.
to
What?
present. Now, I know you've never had anything on your wall before, Chris.
0. I've never put anything up.
Is this something that you would put up?
100 motherfucking percent.
It's gonna suck when you don't get to.
So it's like a cell image of Johnny and Carmen kissing from
Yeah.
that weird tablet they were using in the classroom scene.
Exactly. Now, he has signed this, of course, and he's putting his Gmail if you had any more questions.
I do.
Yeah. But it's gorgeous, right? And
It's beautiful.
yeah. And I know that you've never been much of a collector
No, not at all.
or even a person.
I thought Johnny Rico would do that himself. Kind of.
He
The
did
Johnny Rico.
through the hands of an animator. Now, for you folks that don't know, Starship Troopers is the best sci-fi movie of all time. It's about when we here in a post World War II war that supposedly was won by the Germans, right?
Yeah, and then like society becomes very fascist.
We're very fascists. Well, we get in trouble with a bug planet. So, Gail, this was also a favorite movie of you and your brother when you were young.
Obsessed with it.
Yeah,
Yes.
would quote it constantly. So,
I remember seeing it in theaters by myself and laughing at the most ridiculous parts, but no one
Yes.
else was laughing. And I just
We
felt
saw it in
fucking
theaters
crazy.
too, right? You remember
yeah, of
that?
course we did. Hold on, I got to see if my student loan is ready.
I cannot wait to burn.
This is like my favorite movie in the world, so I can't wait. And I want that prize because I love putting stuff on my wall.
Oh, I know you're.
Vito does put things up.
Yeah, he does. He's very, very good that way.
And Johnny Rico, not just Johnny, Chris. So know your shit, dude.
All right, question 1, Gail.
All right, question 1. We're going to start off easy and work our way up here. Question number 1. Where is home?
Chris.
He hit first. You said Chris. From now on, say your names. Yeah,
Okay.
we should have set that up. Vito.
Buenos Aires.
Correct.
Big brain on Vito.
I call that BA. Wow, that was good.
BA is home. All right, this is looking good
Say
already.
your
Vito's
name
got
now.
one. All right, question number 2. Carl, the psychic, had a pet.
Chris.
Called...
Hey, Chris.
It's Cyrano the ferret.
Correct. Go bug mom, Cyrano.
Are we slamming and saying name or just?
Yes, slamming
Okay.
and saying.
So Chris, you have to slam, buddy.
Okay.
Okay, from now
Cheater.
on. Well, we're making this up as
All
we
right.
go along.
Yeah, I mean, like, guys, I trust that you keep it clean. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right. So we've got 1 for Vito, 1 for Chris. Question number 3. Who is Johnny's senior drill instructor?
Go ahead, Vito.
Career Sergeant Zim.
Correct.
Wow.
Oh my God, Vito with 2. All right, next question.
2-1. 2 is now beating 1.
How does Carmen break up with Rico?
Vito.
That was close. I'm going to give it to Vito.
Over a video message, which is called mail, like write each other, but it's a video message, so it's weird.
Correct. Oh my God,
Chris.
Chris, this is your favorite movie.
I know all the answers. He's just
3-1.
Okay.
Oh my God. All right, question number 5. What does Rico use to kill the tanker
Chris,
bug?
Vito.
Chris.
He jumps on its back, shoots it with a machine gun, throws a nuke into it, fucking blowing orange goo all over everyone.
Very specific, but yes, that is correct.
More
I
than
would-
we needed.
more than we needed.
Wow, this is a close one.
Correct.
Good
Oh
one,
my
Chris.
God. 3-1. Vito still ahead. Chris.
3-2.
3-2.
3-2. All right. Next question. What is the name of the arachnid's
Chris
home?
Vito.
Chris said it first, but I don't even hear the whole question. But go ahead, Chris.
Clendathu.
No, it's P. Oh, fuck.
No, Chris is correct. It's Clendathu is the home
said-
planet.
The name of it was P?
Yeah, there's that place that they keep saying you gotta go back to P.
Planet P is one of the planets, but it's not the home planet of the arachnids. It's Clendathu.
-1 for
Yeah,
that.
-1. 3-2. Chris.
No, it's 3-3 now, right?
Yes, it's 3-3. I want everybody to take a nice
Okay.
look at the animation
Beautiful, man.
from one of the animators who worked on this. What he describes on the back is a non-union production
What, really?
of, yes,
Shady dealings over there.
David Lovelace. And he worked at Playhouse Pictures Animated Studio from 1991 to 1997.
It's a good run.
Yeah. The non-union studio, too. Go ahead, Gail.
Question number 7. The gang all get a tattoo
Chris
from
Vito. Fuck!
Death from above.
Correct. The tattoo reads "Death from Above." Another point for Chris.
4-3.
4-3 now. God, you guys are fast. I'm not even able to get my questions out.
Yeah, they're fast.
Oh
4
my
to 3.
God. 4-3. All right. Now, next question. Johnny and Diz were mobile infantry. What was Carmen
Chris.
assigned to?
Fleet.
Correct. Carmen was assigned to Fleet.
It's just wonderful to see, isn't it, Vito?
It's beautiful. 5-3.
All right, next question. As of course you both know, when you shoot off an arachnid's limb, it's still 86% combat
Chris.
effective.
Nerve stem.
Oh my God!
That's what you should have put it down. That's what Carl told us.
The next question would be, yes, how did you put them down? You aim for the nerve stem, correct, Chris?
Wow, this is embarrassing.
6-3.
Wow, 6-3.
Is it nerd stem?
All right, question number 10. What instrument does Ace play?
Vito, the violin.
Correct. He plays a very weird neon violin.
I don't almost say fiddle, but the way he plays it. All right, what is the
It is
score
a
now?
small stringed instrument. All right, the score is now 6-4.
Damn it.
All right, next question. We have just a few more left. All right. Where do you go if you quit your training before
Vito.
it's over? Wow, that
I
was
think Chris
fast.
got it. I'm sorry, Vito.
Washout lane.
Washout lane. That's where you go if you quit before training is over.
Wow.
Or, of course, if you shoot someone in the head during a live fire exercise.
That was a gruesome scene, wasn't it?
And he wasn't qualified to look at that helmet.
He was not.
Seems like he was doing anything.
He should have
could,
never
though.
given him the order
He
to
wanted
take that.
to win, sir.
I wanted to win, sir. Just he actually liked that answer,
Yeah.
even though he did get someone killed. So that puts us at 7-4.
7-4.
Yeah.
All right. I'm pretty sure this next question, this would be like if Chris gets it, would win. Although I'm very excited about my last question, but whatever. All right. This, I think, is maybe the hardest question because it takes place during the shower scene, and that means you have to have full concentration. It's not going to be describe Dizzy's areolas. Okay?
Okay.
So in this scene, they're discussing why each of them have signed up. What is the reason Katrina gives?
Chris got it.
To be a politician.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Vito. You can steal this.
Katrina, I'll read the question. What is the reason Katrina gives why she has signed up?
I got this one.
Because she got into Harvard and her parents can't afford it, and they'll.
Sorry.
No, that's one of the guys says
No.
that.
I believe
Go ahead, Ron.
she wants to have babies.
She wants to have babies. That's Katrina's answer. Correct. 1 point for Ron.
Sorry. Last question.
Last
There
question.
is no winners.
What does Carl yell once he is able to read
Chris.
the brain? But
It's afraid. It's afraid.
it's afraid.
It's afraid.
I guess we won now. Yeah. That was on Planet P. Okay.
That was on Planet P.
So I said Planet P before.
That was a fucking bug nest that Fleet wouldn't fucking glass.
So 8-4. Chris Stanley, you are the proud owner.
Chris, you're the winner.
Thank you so
Yeah, let's get a nice picture with Chris and his artwork. How do you feel winning the contest, Chris?
I mean, I knew it was gonna fucking. I was gonna win,
yeah.
but the speed. I feel fantastic. To answer your question, I feel wonderful.
I'm going to give you a little background. I met David in Poughkeepsie when I did the show there the other night. And he presented that to me as a gift for you. But I thought, wouldn't it be more fun?
To make you work for it.
I like earning it through combat.
And I actually said to him, you have no idea how fucking happy Chris is going to be to have
This
this.
is the shit. I love this. This is so great.
Now, did you ever go watch the other Starship Troopers?
I tried to watch the second one, but turned it off pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I think there's 4 now.
Yeah, it looks like it was just shot in a garage with some green screen.
Yeah, and then there was a third one where Rico came back, and I tried to watch that, and I just turned. It was just fucking terrible.
He also
It was so
returned
bad.
in the CGI ones later on in the series.
Well, we weren't fucking talking about those, were we?
Vito, I feel so embarrassed for you that you lost.
I know, Vito.
You're a collector.
I'm a
you know?
collector. I like collecting movie memorabilia and
You went
pieces.
to film school, bro.
Okay, Chris, we pointed out why I wanted
It's
it
true,
already.
bro. Now, you hadn't seen the movie. You watched it just for this.
I watched it last night for the first time, and I was like, "Yeah, this is a pretty good movie."
Yeah, it was fucking great.
It's great. It's awesome.
And I wanted to just beat the shit out of Chris in this game after only seeing the movie once.
Chris won his own gift, and that
That's
to
so
me is the
exciting.
greatest gift of all.
Also, that might be maybe one of my most favorite intros ever.
Yeah, that was weird. Who made that, Earl?
I did.
But who did the voice?
That was Joe Lopez.
How did he know how to do the voice, though?
Man,
he's a
that was
fan like
so
everyone
And
good.
then like the scene because it's like that voice was like the propaganda commercial voice, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
in the movie.
that is so awesome.
That was great. And now I get citizenship. And
You
Vito
do
just
have
a
to,
stupid
now you're able to vote,
Yeah.
have
And
babies.
have babies.
go to politics.
I was focusing on the wrong things in the movie, thinking it would be on trivia. I was like, "All right, his football team name is the Tigers. This is definitely going to come up."
Well, that was a good one.
Xander's
No,
on the
that's
Giants.
good.
It wasn't done any good.
I know the final score of that game.
What was it?
41-38 Tigers.
But here's the thing. It's in the future. They able to fucking get around gravity. Why are they still the Giants and the Tigers? Why wouldn't they be the meteorites and the...
And the brain bugs.
Yeah, like they knew about the aliens in the movie. Like
Right.
they were aware.
The
of
Mormons went there. Remember?
Oh,
That was
yeah.
the Mormons that went to what? Fucking try to get the bugs to be Christians?
I guess so.
Idiots.
Did you say one of the questions that Neil Patrick Harris was a psychic?
Yes.
I had
He is-
no idea.
Yes.
He was
Yes,
in
that's
Games
why
of
he's-
Theory, man.
I was confused at the end of the movie when he was saying when he felt it and he could speak to it. I just thought everybody could kind of get bugs
He
in it.
moved the fucking ferret up his mom's leg.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I watched it
Go.
on Fuse.
Remember when he says, "Go bug mom," Cyrano?
It was only
But
available.
that was like what do you call it? A pre-shadowing
Yeah.
of go bug mom.
Oh,
Bug her.
Bug her.
And then remember how she died from a bug explosion.
yeah.
Fucking BA got wiped out. 12 million dead.
That's
I was
home,
gonna.
Johnny.
That's home, Johnny. I was gonna also ask, how can kids do their part?
Stomping roaches.
Yes, that's the best.
Also, they have them just playing with guns and they're just fucking talking war with a giant machine gun. It's fucking totally ridiculous.
After I saw that movie last night, I felt like that little kid we saw after seeing Grease, where I saw the movie and I found out there was a Starship Troopers 2. And I was really excited.
There's a Grease too.
All right, Kevin from Connecticut wants to know if you could play a Yes song that would make sense for everybody, Earl.
Play a Yes song.
You know what song. You try to think. This is going to be your quiz. What song by Yes fits into this perfectly? Go ahead.
Starship Trooper.
Don't say it. Do it, man. Rather than saying we have an opening, play the opening. What do you got to fucking teach radio to a man who basically was here? He did mornings with Marconi in the fucking early days of it. Well, you guys did it. I'm very, very proud of both of you.
Thank you.
I really love this gift.
It is so.
surprised,
It's
really.
awesome.
It is a prize.
It's a really fucking cool gift.
Very nice. Starship Troopers, but yes. Well, Vito, we don't want you to go home empty-handed.
Okay.
But you're going to have to.
Oh,
We don't want it to happen, though.
okay. I mean, it's my own fault.
Yeah, it is. I'll see if I can't get you tickets for tonight.
That would be cool. I would love to be able to go.
You still dating that same kid?
Who?
I forget his name. What's his
Ian?
name?
Ian. Yeah.
We still see each other on the weekends. It's more of a side thing.
You don't see him during the week?
No, I don't like to see anybody during the week. I just like to go home and watch Starship Troopers and
Obviously not.
But a second.
By a large margin.
it wasn't that large. You should be embarrassed that somebody came that close who's seen it one time last night.
I've doubled your score, dude.
You know, I don't want you guys to fight. Enjoy your time in radio. You know, I met Earl at WNEW, and one of the guys that did mornings during that fucking revolving door was Craig Carlton, who yesterday was, I guess it was about a year ago, that he first got busted for some kind of ticket Ponzi scheme. Earl, do you even know the details of what he was up to?
I think he was setting up. It was like basically like a shell company, and he would basically sell tickets that didn't exist. You know, to shows that didn't exist.
But how do you think you're going to get away with that? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, like this the paper trail. I mean, it was basically open and shut.
Yeah, it took him 4 hours, and he could get up to 45 years in jail for this. I don't think that he will, but 45 years. Well, you know him too, right?
I coached his kids at.
So this has got to be heartbreaking for you since you know his kids.
I knew he was nice to me. He gave me tickets. He gave me a pair of tickets to.
You're going to be needing to talk to the FBI then.
They were like luxury seats where I got free stuff, and now I feel like I'm a part of this whole thing.
Yeah. I definitely know that Al Dukes has got to be a part of this thing. And I believe right up to his fucking ass. I believe the brain behind all this was Al Dukes. And for that, I'm willing to turn states right now. I don't trust a man who eats dry chicken sandwich that he brings from home that he had cooked on a fucking George Foreman grill every day.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then
he's like the only person I know who would like really seriously eat every day on a George Foreman grill.
The thing is, I wouldn't even call him a person. At this time, he's a suspect. And I don't think he should get 45 years, but I give him about 8 years.
That's fine. Apparently, Craig was also taking the money for the tickets and like to pay off gambling debts and to gamble with as well.
And you know a little bit what it's like to have a gambling addiction.
Yeah. And so then he's getting millions of dollars to do it.
But, oh, you mean he was using that?
Using that money to gamble.
Who would even know that there was millions of dollars in tickets?
I had no idea. Apparently, he had every big tour in the United States.
No, we didn't have anything.
Oh, yeah. What's he saying he did?
You would have got.
Yeah.
At least.
You're fucking going down, dude. You're part of this. Apparently, he's got every big... It's right in the fucking paper that he didn't have anything. And the thing was, he was taking, like, investors. But to be totally honest, I've read about it a couple of times, and I couldn't figure out how this would work or how he thought it would get away with it.
Yeah, because what happens when you like go to the show that you have the ticket?
It's like, these aren't tickets.
And it's from a guy that you know from the radio, so you could go, I'll call the fucking radio station right now. And Boomer claims he knew nothing about this, right?
Yeah.
Everybody had to know that the guy was a gambling addict, though.
They had to.
But almost every sports guy I've ever met is a gambling addict. Because they're doing all the games, they're doing the research, and it becomes so obvious to them what the fucking final score is going to be that they bet it and lose.
Turns out it's impossible to figure out to bet against the spread. It's just too fucking hard.
It's too hard.
Like a successful gambler, I think it's like 53%. Like if you're
that's fucking no fun.
Yeah, that sucks. You're losing fucking all the time.
I worked as a bookie for somebody in high school for like a few months. Some dude was just like, so my friend's uncle who's like connected.
Oh
was
boy,
like,
why doesn't that fucking surprise us?
Would give me sheets to give out to kids in my high school, and he would give me a piece of the money.
How much piece did you get?
I forgot how much I got per bet, but I remember per week I'd usually get like $60. Mm-hmm. But I was fucking pushing it.
Yeah, like, hey man, anybody want to bet this week? Get a hold of me, Dito. Did you have to go around and fucking collect when the guys couldn't pay and you pull their fucking thumb out? Italians, huh?
It wasn't an Italian thing. It was just, it was a way to make money in high school.
Hey, oh, Italians.
It has nothing to do with being Italian other than the guy happened to be Italian. But that's not the point. The point is I was making money in a nice way.
Yeah. Except for instead of money, it was Scangelian fucking Italian ice. Remember that time you had to go over to fucking Staten Island and all of a sudden the guy fucking just dives underneath the toll booth. You get all shot up. And then people come driving up conveniently just minutes later. Who'd you most identify with?
In the Godfather?
Yeah.
Probably Luca Brasi. I mean, if we're I would like to say, Vito Corleone because we have the same name and because he's a powerful figure, but it's probably Luca Brasi if I had to be somebody in that movie.
Damn, that's sad. I saw you as the fucking accordion player in the wedding band. Hey, you want to hear something gross yesterday, Gail?
Yeah.
This Chris Stanley is heading down to the fucking turlet, and he takes a cream puff with him.
That's so
He's eating a fucking cream puff
disgusting.
while he's sitting on the turlet.
Yeah. Getting two things done at once.
That's like a messy food, too, to eat in the bathroom.
I had to wipe up with some toilet paper.
Any food is fucking disgusting.
Opposed to what?
Like, I didn't
By
have
the way,
any
you should
napkins.
always wipe with toilet paper.
Wipe my face.
You shit on your face?
Did you reuse the toilet paper?
So you wiped your ass and then you wiped that
No,
on
I
your
didn't.
face.
No. There's plenty of
That's
fresh
disgusting.
toilet paper in there.
His bathroom habits, really.
I've never once seen him use a urinal. Every time he has to pee, he shits.
It's a problem. One day I'll have it beat.
All right, listen to this. This is on Twitter. So glad that Vito doesn't get to gloat over Chris on Bennington show. Chris works 10 times harder than Vito on the show each day and deserved the big win. Congratulations.
And it's proven because of how much more I knew about Starship Troopers.
10 times harder is quite a statement to make.
But it's true, though.
No,
Twitter
it's
said-
not.
Twitter said.
How many times
harder do you think he works than you?
I don't think Chris works 10 times. I think we work the same level. We just do different things.
No way.
All right, let's suppose this.
Yeah.
If one of you were to die, which would it hurt the show more?
Me.
Do you honestly believe that?
Yeah.
Or is this another one of your Italian Trump
It's not
lies?
one of my Italian lies.
It's Italian bullshit, Ron.
Is that the water?
What water?
Nothing. I've had that water in the booth for like a week, and I think he took it.
So what?
That's just gross. It's been sitting in there for a week.
Look, people say that old water's not good to drink. I didn't think that.
No, but it wasn't closed. It was sitting in the booth, open, half drank for a week.
Yeah, what's
You're
going to
just
happen?
drinking
Mosquito
stagnant
eggs are
water?
in there.
Now they're in me.
Why didn't you just get your own water? Why would you go in and grab a half-open fucking booth water?
It's been there for a week.
I'll go for convenience over colder, fresher water.
But it was like, I don't understand.
This is a thing? This has happened before?
Oh, yeah. I can't leave anything around Chris or else it gets eaten or drank.
Oh, I was
Including your balls.
I was in here one day. I took a drink out of a cup that had a top on it. I assumed it was water. It was not water. And I don't know what the fuck it was.
You know what it was. There, fucking Norton was pissing in those things and leaving them.
He's got some dark piss.
Yeah, he's not healthy. Nick, what's up, buddy?
Ronnie B, how are you, man? Gail, congratulations. It's great to have you back on the radio.
Thank you so much.
I've been listening for a long time, and this today's conversation just further cements my theory that Chris Stanley is, in fact, a homeless person. This guy, he eats whatever he can find. He shows up with strange stab wounds. And I believe, Gail, before you left, you were talking about the fact that no one can get into
It is.
the apartment, and no one's been inside it.
No,
it is
no one's
true.
ever
None
been
of us have been invited there, and it is a very planes, trains, and automobiles things. And then Chris said to me, "I love my wife so much."
I assure you all I have a home.
Yeah, your version of a home, cardboard. Hey, Jim, Boston.
Hey, Bennington, how you doing, guys?
Hey, man.
Congratulations to Gail, and I want to ask, what's the vig this week on the Pats versus Titans? I'm going down to Knoxville tomorrow, and I want to know What's the bet?
I'm going to say take the Pats.
Smart, Vito. He's smart when it comes to betting.
He knows what he's doing.
Jimmy in Jersey.
Hey, Ronnie, how are you?
Good.
Good. When I was in high school, many years ago, but, we did the sheets all the time. You'd make, 50 cents for every $5
Right.
that you got money coming in. But I had a friend that decided he was going to make his own sheets. And the spread was always like cockeyed. There was 7 points, off the Vegas spreads. And he was winning, and he was winning. He won for, 7, 8 weeks in a row. Everybody was blanking out on him. He was making a ton of money. But then everybody hit.
Yeah.
And the kid's father, who was a hardworking jeweler in Brooklyn, he had to come in. He had to come due for the money because they had all these people. So the guy had to come out of pocket for like $40,000.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what fucking happens if you run into a bad fucking thing and you don't know what you're doing.
You're upside down on the line, and you're not playing the vig. See, the way everybody makes their money is all off the vigorish. It's all off the spread.
Right.
When you lose, you're going to make more money than when you win, and you have to lay off the bets when the weight of the bets comes in the other way. You got to lay it off with somebody else.
Right.
And you have to not have an interest. See, as soon as you think you know more than the spread, is when you get fucked. And that's the way it works.
That's fucking Vito. All right, thanks, Jimmy. That's fucking Vito for you right there. Every once in a while, Vito, you got to take that meatball out of your mouth and start fucking thinking.
We'll never do that.
No. All right, we got some more tickets to give out for tonight. 844 Rock God, 844 Rock God. It's like this. You got to be able to be in New York City tonight at the K Playhouse at Hunter College in New York. This is a free show that Ricky Gervais is putting on. Ricky Gervais and Friends, a work in progress with Ron Bennington and Jim Norton. 844 Rock God to win. They've given us more tickets. 844 Rock God to win. We'll take those off air. Earl will handle them in the back after Earl did a fantastic job with production today.
That was a great intro. Hats off to you, Earl.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Well, what we should say is bug hat off to you. He's something, ain't he, Earl?
He's a dynamo.
Yeah. How much has our life got better ever since this fucking horseshoe came back into it? You know what I mean? This 4-leaf clover.
So true.
Every day I rub Earl's head and I go, let's make a good fucking show today.
It's made this week a dream for me.
It is a dream. It's like living on a prayer. Bon Jovi was right when he talked about that. Thank you, Earl.
Thank you for bringing me back, guys.
I wish that you would use your special powers to heal people.
Why do you refuse?
I like to take him to he's like, what was that thing Will Smith was running around, jumping into the sky?
Oh, Hancock?
He's Hancock. Like he has his special powers, but he's too much of a fucking drunk to do anything about it. You like your liquor, don't you, Earl?
I've known I like a drink or two.
Yeah.
Booze hound?
Yeah. Well, that booze hound ain't going to put the booze down. Earl told me this the other day. He says he likes his liquor the way he likes his woman. Fucking bound, gagged, and ass up in the air.
What?
Damn,
Earl?
Yeah. I go, I never even had a drink like that. Vito, you need to run over there and help them? Looks like they're just sitting like fucking, you know what's.
Italians?
Yeah, like a couple of Italians.
A couple of know-nothing Italians.
Wow, I got this thing. This is a Donald Trump quote. And he said this, let me tell you, I don't usually say this often and certainly not for free, ever. But this time I feel obligated. I must say, let me tell you, Starship Troopers is one of the best movies I've ever seen. Incredible. Wow. That's something that you should also put. When is that going up on your wall? Tonight?
It'll go up tonight.
Good for you.
Thank you.
I wish
I'm so
all
happy.
I wish you all the luck in the world with that.
I think I'm gonna have to get like a nail or something because
A nail.
Yeah, you might have to stop at the hardware store, get yourself a nail.
A single nail.
I think I have a hammer at my home.
For the want of a nail. Use that fucking giant head of yours.
What was it that you took a picture of in your house and everyone was
dick.
just everyone was just tweeting us all the weird things they could see in the background?
Oh yeah, that was there was a crowbar in the background, just on the floor. Because you need a crowbar sometimes. It's a lot more useful than you think. Well, actually, this is why I had the crowbar. Okay, so my mom had carpeting, like wall-to-wall
Oh
carpeting.
yeah,
whatever.
sure.
So then one day she's like, Christopher, you got to take up this carpeting. I was like, I'm fucking 17. What? Okay, great. So I take a box cutter and cut up all the fucking carpeting around the living room. But then there's like these, they have these wooden strips with nails sticking out of them around all the corners of the fucking house.
Yeah.
I didn't pick those up because they were nailed down. Like, well, fuck this shit. So like, about 8 years after that, I bought a crowbar to fucking pry them all up. And that's why I have a crowbar.
And now you know the rest of the story.
Now, so you never replaced it with any new carpeting or new flooring?
No new flooring, no new carpeting. My mom.
So you
got
just ripped
sick.
up the carpeting. What was underneath?
Like it's like wood floors or whatever, but it was just like dusty and shitty.
Why don't you just put peanut shells down?
It's not a bar.
Like they do in the elephant cage. For the want of a nail. Yeah. I'm looking up that Florida governor's race. Less than 1%. Less than 1%, about 0.5%. Big fucking state like that. Doesn't matter. Always divided. Look at this. In Arizona, the Senate race. Out of
That's
a million things,
ridiculous.
there's like 17 fucking things. Amazing how close we are in this country.
Georgia's super close too.
Georgia. Do you know how he went blind?
No, how?
His first manager thought it would be better to be blind, that like more people would show up, and burn
Oh
his
my
fucking
God.
eyes out with a hot fucking steak.
Oh God,
Yeah.
that's horrifying.
And then later they found out, no, people don't mind anybody who can see. My baby ground's been good to me. Who's your favorite singer of all time, Earl?
It's, I fluctuate. It's Al Green, Aretha Franklin, Sam Cooke.
You got to choose down between them.
I'll go Aretha Franklin.
I'm so tired of being alone. You're wrong. It was Al Green. Al Green's a good name, too.
Yeah.
Gail, who's your favorite singer of all time?
Oh boy,
Yeah.
I might say Leonard Cohen.
Ooh, I'll let her go. How about for you, Chris?
Mariah Carey. She has some great pipes on her.
Shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked that you said that.
I'm going to pick either the guy from Head East. Saved my life for going down for the last time. Or, I guess Bieber.
Good one.
I'm a daydream believer. Burr.
No one ever gives love to Stevie as a singer. I think
Sticks! Oh, you know what? I know that you're so proud of fucking Stevie. Did you see him singing on Dancing with the Stars, Children, the other night?
no.
I'm the ribbon of the sky. And he's like this. And he actually copied everything from Ray Charles. The whole fucking blind thing. Everything.
But
That's
Dancing with
fucking-
the Stars?
That's bubblegum music to me.
When did Stevie become a museum piece? You know what I mean? Like, he's one of the greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And they just kind of trot him out. You know, the Grammys, if they want to put someone over, they always bring out Stevie to do a song with him.
Well, let me know. I would love to see a piano get dropped on him. Me and Earl fight over Stevie Wonder. I think he's a fucking sellout.
Had the greatest pop run ever.
For who?
Greatest 5 years ever.
Ugh.
You don't think so? Like Intervisions?
Nothing.
Songs in the Key of Life? Talking Book? Fulfilling his first finale?
I put him in the same fucking place as the guy who sings Sweet Caroline.
Neil Diamond?
I don't see a different. I call him the Black Neil Diamond, and then I call him Stevie Wonder the White fucking Neil Diamond.
I think Stevie wrote far better songs. Far better all-around performer.
I don't think his songs are fucking strong. I don't think his songs are strong at all. He's got 2 fucking songs that I love, and that's it. The rest of them I cringe at.
For Once in My Life?
Yes, I hate that fucking song.
My Shirley Moore?
Yes, those songs to me seem like they should be sung in fucking a Holiday Inn in fucking Kansas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For once in my life. That's a fucking Anthony Noli type song to me.
Maybe one of my least favorite songs is I Just Called to Say I Love You.
Ugh.
I really dislike that song.
Oh, that was peak cheesy Stevie. That was Stevie cheesy with crackers and sides. I'll give you that. But
isn't she lovely? I'm a hack.
Superstition?
I like Superstition. You know, he gave that fucking song away, found out that it was hit, and took it fucking back.
Well, that was Berry Gordy.
Yeah, exactly. The fucking Stevie Wonder fucking enabler. Here's some more sugar for you. I think we gotta get ready to break here, but before we do, Gail, I wanted to talk to you about a great new product that I think would be good for anybody who was involved. I got to give Vito a run in here with it, though. It's a little product that I go out of my way to call Ring. Now, are you familiar with it, Chris?
I'm not.
Well, let me tell you all about it.
I can't wait.
You see, Ring's mission is to make neighborhoods safer. Today, over 1 million people use the amazing Ring video doorbell to help protect their homes. Ring knows home security begins at the front door, but it doesn't end there. So now they're extending that same level of security to the rest of your home with the Ring Floodlight Cam.
Just like Ring's amazing doorbell, Floodlight Cam is a motion-activated camera and floodlight that connects right to your phone. With HD video, two-way audio that lets you know the moment anyone steps on your property.
See and speak to visitors, even set off an alarm right from your home phone. With Ring's Floodlight Cam, when things go bump in the night, you'll immediately know where it is, whether you're home or away. The Ring Floodlight Cam helps you keep an eye on your home from anywhere.
Ring Floodlight offers the ultimate in home security with high visibility floodlights and a powerful HD camera that puts security in your hands. With Ring, you're always home. Save up to $150 off a Ring security kit when you go to ring.com/comedy. Ring.com/comedy. That's ring.com/comedy.
Back to the Bennington show. Gail is breastfeeding at the moment. But look who we got coming in here right now, Chris.
Ted Alexandro, his new special, Senior Class of Earth, is available now.
Oh,
good for you, buddy.
ATCspecials.com.
Consider it breastfeeding for the soul.
Breastfeeding for the soul.
That was an alternate
I didn't
title.
Even think
Yeah.
of it that way.
Yeah.
I wasn't breastfed as a kid, were you?
I was not.
Yeah.
No.
Somebody told me before that's why I could never get enough in life.
Yeah. There's a reason for everything, right?
Yeah.
It all goes back to the breast.
Do you believe in any of that kind of birthing type stuff? Because when I went back and checked on mine, it was fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
Well, this is all kind of new developments, right? Like, and I just got married a year ago. My wife and I just had our first anniversary, so we're just in that phase of kind of talking about, starting a family or whatever. So I don't know anything. So I'm sure I'll be in the deep end pretty soon.
I think it's interesting that we're even at the point now where you talk about having a family, because I never did that.
Yeah. A few years ago, neither did I. Yeah, it's all new to me too. But I mean, look, I guess everything evolves, right? So there's information and there's stuff to know. So let's know it. You know what?
I'm actually. It's funny that you bring up stuff evolves, because I have this thing is like as you get older, you find out you can't progress as fast as progress, right? That's the thing of getting older. So because I was teasing my dad because he was pretty liberal when he was younger, but he still holds on to things that now progress has passed by.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he has, so that would not be he would not be considered a liberal.
Yeah.
But I think that happens to all of us as we get older.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable, right? Because it's like everyone likes to think they're cool, ahead of the curve, has it figured out. But yeah, I'm noticing that more and more, that like, okay, and obviously pop culture is the first thing to kind of let you know that you're done.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, I've never heard of that person. Oh, this person's an actor that has 1 million followers on this or that. I'm like, and I'm fine with it, so I've made my peace. I don't know if I'm at the same place as your dad necessarily, but I'm
not there yet. Believe me.
I'm getting there. That's what I'm aspiring to.
There.
Yeah.
But I was, when I was talking to somebody about this, because I was a child of the rock and roll era, there's jazz that I like, there's hip hop that I like, but it's not nearly, what I mean? These are like little fringes, all because it wasn't my, and I don't know why we do that with music, we don't do it with movies.
Right.
I don't sit around and, I do brag about the movies of the 70s. I'm lying now. But,
it's funny, right? I guess it's just the part of the brain that identifies like your coming of age so strongly. I mean, I do try to keep an open mind, like with new music and stuff, even if it's somebody I've never heard of.
Right.
I'm like, all right, let me listen to this with a really open mind, because even like artists that I really respect, like Neil Young or people like this, they always kind of kept an eye on who was coming behind them, collaborated with.
Very true.
When I saw Neil Young a couple of years ago, he was playing with Willie Nelson's sons.
Yeah.
I forget the name of their band.
No, but I ended up getting into Willie Nelson's son too. Somebody sent me a song. I'm like, this is fucking unbelievable.
It's great stuff. Yeah. So, I think we kind of do a disservice. If you can straddle the line of like, I know I'm older and I'm not of this, but let me give it an honest listen,
Earl, are you, because you're a music guy 100%, are you locked into the music of your high school, or?
I try to really keep it moving. And just kind of keep trying to check out things, but I keep going back to the grunge days, Guns N' Roses, Peter Gabriel, U2. Those are my, Dylan, of course, and just kind of keep going back.
It's very hard to do.
It's extremely hard to keep
in
up.
comedy, too, there is a thing of comedy. Society moves along, right? Mm-hmm. And it's up to each comedian if they want to keep up with that.
Yeah.
And I always tell people who are like, oh, these, I go, well, you don't want to be, Jack Carter in 1984. You know what I mean? You don't want like these kids with the Atari and the boop, you know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. But that could happen to you. But most of the time, even, when you're playing the Cellar, that's a younger crowd.
Sure.
It's a younger crowd that goes out.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, because I think, doing it as long as we have, I'm doing it 25 years.
Yeah.
You gain a measure of experience and kind of authority that, you should be able to have something to say to any room full of people.
Right.
You should have a point of view that you're kind of strong enough about that, I'm not scared by... I still do everything from high schools up to senior citizens. So
exactly.
If you know who you are, you're comfortable with who you are, and also comfortable with who you're not, I think that comes across in the performance.
Do you ever find there's jokes like that you did when you were younger that you wouldn't do today?
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting, right?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, because honestly, like I was thinking about this the other day, the guys that were kind of the icons when I was just getting into it or just starting to think about getting into it, Eddie Murphy, Sam Kinison, Dice Clay, all these guys. Now even Cosby, talking about like not so much what he was doing on stage, but off. But all these things.
Yeah.
I look back on the stuff that I loved as a teenager, Eddie Murphy, whoever, Dice Clay, and it just doesn't hold up. Not to say that they weren't and aren't great comedians, but to your question, even for myself, I look back at some of the early stuff, and there's stuff where I can see myself like trying too hard, or trying to. I don't know, just trying to be a guy, a lot of it it was so steeped in testosterone back then. I had to grow out of that. And, when you're starting, you're reaching for the life vest, you're so a lot of times
bars, not even clubs. I mean, it's a bar situation
early on. Yeah. So I think the quickest life vest to reach for a lot of times is like the testosterone, impenetrable male thing,
I'll whip everybody's ass here if I need to. Go ahead, Chris.
Ted Alexandro, his new special, Senior Class of Earth, is available now at atcspecials.com.
I remember when my kids were younger, and I was having them watch Robin Williams, and he was doing that thing where he jumps around, and he was doing a black voice.
Yeah.
And they were going like, why does he think black people talk like that? And I'm like, I think they did when he was younger, because it was the old school jive, like, hey, babies, what are you doing? You know what I mean? But he did not update that thing. He stuck with it. And a lot of the problems is he probably got laughs with it when he first started doing it.
Sure. Yeah. And there is like something endearing about like character work.
Right.
But again, as you evolve and stuff, it's like, oh, he's got a go-to black voice, a go-to gay voice.
Yeah.
So yeah, like again, like you were talking about with society evolving, you kind of have to like reassess that. I mean, he's still a beloved figure and a brilliant comedic mind, so yeah, but it's interesting.
It was of a different time. It was of shorthand that doesn't always stick.
That's right, because what's funny is like if I'm just doing my voice right now, like I could claim to be doing a black person, right? Because maybe there's a black person who speaks like this, but it's not a stereotype, So it's like, it's when you deconstruct things, and that's another thing too. Of like, I didn't think about those things early on in my career. Of like when I'm kind of inhabiting the voice of a woman, or the choices that I make. What do you do? And
where you mean? My wife was like, "Oh, get in here, honey." But she doesn't talk like that.
Exactly.
Why are you doing it? Oh, because you saw someone doing it.
Yes,
before.
That's right, and it's almost like it's the hack voice of like here comes the naggy woman.
That is always. I mean, there are things. Well, I'll give you one, and I never heard this term used in real life, but I heard it so many times on TV shows and movies, and that's when black people would say turkey. Yo,
jive
turkey, jive turkey. And I've never heard that once in my life. Earl, did you ever hear anyone?
Never.
Yet we grew up with that on TV so much that, I think the only person who said it was my mom, because she had watched enough television.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah. And you have to kind of almost think that was like a writer's room full of white guys.
Yeah.
Writing
like, what
down,
can we
jive
use?
Turkey. Yeah. That'll catch on.
What can we use here? So that's certainly the weirdest thing about getting older to me, is to find out. Well, but when we were younger, 10th grade to 12th grade lasted forever. And now 2 years ago, I could still be thinking someone was popular from 2 years ago when every kid knows that that's done.
Yeah. Things move at just like warp speed now.
Yeah.
But I think too that like kids coming up consume so much more comedy than we did.
Sure.
And so many more kind of fringe genres of comedy.
Yeah.
Like when I in my formative years, kind of like what you were talking about with music, it was my parents' album collection. So it was George Carlin, it was Woody Allen, Cosby, stuff like that. And then from friends, maybe it was Richard Pryor, whatever. So, but now, I mean, and that's kind of like guys who are like the tops, that are kind of, at least at the time, were on the Rushmore of comedy. But now, like, kids are listening to, like, you know, I think about like was the Comedians of Comedy?
Yeah.
With Patton and Maria, Brian Posehn, Zach, I think. Yeah. So like those
Zach.
people probably would not have broken through at the time the way that they did at the time that I was like a high school student, right? Because it would have been too fringe to be mainstream. But now there's so many voices that like people that are coming up have consumed so many more points of view that I think it makes for better comedy.
Well, there's certainly a lot more than ever. You know what I mean? There's a lot more. But like everything, when it does break down and get smaller and smaller and smaller, it doesn't have that same effect on a society. I was talking with Seinfeld about it, and Seinfeld was telling me he thinks it's a giant mistake how quick people make specials. He thinks material should be worked on for much, much longer. And I thought, well, at one time, let's say those early Catskill guys or vaudeville guys, if they got 15 minutes, that was it for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And some of them shared the same act. Some
That's
guys were doing it on the East Coast and the mid, you know.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were also, you could argue, probably shooting for the widest target.
Exactly.
You know, so like you said, that they're appealing to the most people. Now, I think that's almost not to say it's extinct, because it's not. There's people that are more kind of populist in their approach, but yeah, I don't know. There's different schools of thought. I do think that the approach to put out an hour every year, not everybody's equipped to do that. You know, I don't even think, I'm not equipped to do that.
Yeah. I'm not sure anybody was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it really, to do that without writers that's crazy.
That's right. Yeah. And that's another point without writers. So, yeah, I think there's something to be said for what Seinfeld says. I mean, on the other hand, like he's probably put out like 2 or 3 over a long period of time, you know, so that's almost like the other extreme, not quite as extreme as the old guys of holding on to an hour forever. And he's still, every time I see him, he's still got great new stuff. But yeah, I think there is something to be gained from like setting the bar a little higher to, all right. You know, because you can coast, you know, guys, depending on what rooms you're working, you can coast forever on an hour.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You
know? The cellar is always new people. The cellar is constantly new people. So you're thinking, even if you go in there with the attitude of, I'm going to do some new stuff, you're like, I better give them something good. I want to get invited back here.
Right. Yeah, that's always looming too. Yeah, but I think like depending on, you know, if you're playing like cruises or if you're playing, you know, certain rooms around the country, yeah, you could. And also there's a certain section of the population that loves to hear the same thing over and over again. Yeah. So there's that too. So yeah, I think, you know, everyone's different, but I think it's a good thing that kind of this seed has been planted to kind of turn your act over. But I do agree with Seinfeld that like certain bits benefit from, you know, kind of being in your rotation longer. You add another line, you add another kind of sidebar. Your performance of it gets better.
Sure.
So yeah, I don't think
you just find that it's a half a beat. It's not a whole beat, it's a half a beat.
Yes.
That kind of really small detail work is hard to do if you're just
or like saying jive turkey instead of just turkey.
Yeah, right.
You know, just a little.
I had to jive.
Yeah.
And I just let it rain back over me. Go ahead, Chris.
Ted Alexandro's new special, Senior Class of Earth, is available now at atcspecials.com. Go to tedalexandro.com for Ted's dates, and on Twitter at Ted Alexandro.
Now, do you worry about the divisiveness going on in the country when you were on stage, or?
No, that's probably the one time I don't worry about it.
You worry about it the rest of the day.
The rest of the day, yeah. No, on stage, you know, obviously I tried. It is a little bit more of a fine line to find something that's going to work, you know, because there are more and more topics that polarize and like will immediately half the room or whatever the percentage is, they have their back up a little bit. But I welcome that challenge of, you know, trying to find something funny about it. I do a joke about my grandparents and how, a lot of people said after Obama got elected, I heard a lot of people say, I wish my grandparents had lived to see this, the first black president in American history. And I know how they feel now. I wish my grandparents had lived to see Trump get elected because they were racist. And this would have been very, very special for them on account of how racist they were. And then I say, I'm not saying that everyone who voted for Trump is racist. I'm saying my grandparents were. And if you voted for Trump, you probably would have liked them. So, so that's just to give an example of something that has a little bit of a journey that is talking about people that I love who voted for Trump, so there's hopefully some nuance there that people can laugh.
It is really true that all of us love at least one racist. There is some racist.
One, you'd be on the low end of things.
Yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, isn't that the truth though? I mean, it's like, that's the real truth in this polarizing atmosphere of absolutism. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, in your family, you have people you completely disagree with who you love and you have to love, so it is a good challenge to try to figure all that out.
Well, we all have Thanksgiving coming up where the extended family gets together, and it's stressful. It's a stressful situation for everybody. Yeah. Sometimes we think it's just stressful for us.
Right.
But there's plenty of people going, oh man, I don't believe he's coming home.
Right.
I remember last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like you said, it's almost impossible to ignore those things now, to ignore those topics now, because they're on everyone's mind. They're in front of our faces 24/7, whether it's social media, cable news, whatever. So it's bound to come up. And what makes me laugh, though, are these people who are like, talk to your relatives. You've got to have the hard conversations. It's like, I am not going to change Uncle Bob's mind about Trump or anything else, so it's not like we're one good conversation away from breaking this thing wide open. It's like rooting for a team, right? If someone puts on the Yankee hat and goes to Yankee Stadium, they're rooting for the Yankees. Like, I'm not going to say, hold on a second, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays.
they got
some talent,
Yeah.
You're not going to change their mind, so I think the best we can do is kind of coexist.
Yeah, coexist without getting crazy. I saw that shit with Tucker Carlson last night, where
I saw him trending, but I didn't see what was the...
People had showed up at his house, and they were chanting and shit, and something we know, racist sleeps here. And he wasn't home, but his wife and kids were. They're looking out the windows, and you're just like, okay, where can we get this?
Right.
That it's somewhere in the middle. I mean, you see both sides being chased out of restaurants and chased down the street.
Yeah.
And sooner or later, or maybe it's already happened, some nut goes a little too far.
Yeah.
With it all.
Yeah, it is, it's weird. It's weird. Like people talk about the end of civility.
Mm-hmm.
In certain instances, I get why people would want to confront certain people and kind of get them out of their bubble of security and safety.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of stuff, like going to somebody's house where their kids are sleeping and stuff. I mean, yeah, it's bizarre that people are going this far.
Well, to see how close races are in Florida and Arizona and now even Texas, you know what I mean? Like, it's a giant mistake to say red states and blue states. It might be closer to city people and country people, and quite frankly, we do live very different lifestyles. We have different problems, so it may be almost too difficult for people to start and understand each other.
Yeah. I mean, I often think, like, why are we even voting on candidates anymore? Like, why don't we just vote on the issues of your particular city or neighborhood? Like there was a ballot initiative about citizens being involved, participatory budgeting, people being involved in the spending. Like, to me, like, if I was going to the polls to vote on like what we're going to put money into, I'd be excited about that.
Right.
But I'm not excited about Andrew Cuomo or whoever else, you know what I mean? But you kind of almost have this duty to show up. Like people are like, well, somebody died, so you can. It's like, all right, well, I'll just die a little and go to the polls,
But it would be. I mean, obviously, people always go back to state rights, but when we had them, there was some fucked up things that happened.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't all that long ago. It was in my lifetime that people couldn't travel everywhere and have the same rights. So we literally fucked them up. We literally couldn't be trusted to do that.
Yeah, and the fact that we still can't just have a simple election, like they're recounting the ballots in Georgia and Florida because of the massive purge of getting people off the rolls and specifically black people. So it's it is mind-boggling. Because in this kind of, you see a lot of the cheerleading, it's funny amongst actors and celebrities, comedians even, get out there and vote. It's like a high school pep rally, and these people have all these obstacles to even just get there, first off, or secondly, that they know their vote's going to be counted, or that there aren't people actively trying to get them off the rolls. It's mind-boggling that this is, where we're at.
Well, here in New York, we didn't even have that many things to vote on, and it was packed, man. You had to wait for a while. Yeah. And, the fact that people don't have off that day, and you got to do it before you go to work or after you get home from work. They don't set it up to be easy at all.
No, and I think, that's part of it too, is why don't we have a week where you can vote? What, just make it a week. Make it, you can do it from your phone.
Right.
Whatever. It's why we have this same conversation every time there's an election. Oh yeah, the votes aren't being counted, or the machines, there was some sort of problem. It's there's a problem with the machines?
Yeah,
my phone works perfectly when I'm on Twitter or whatever,
And there's the same old things. And the oldest people I've ever seen in my life are working there. They're very slow moving.
Oh, God bless them all. Yeah, it's really funny. I posted a photo. The old woman who I had to go to sign the roll book or whatever, where they blow the dust off. Behind her was a basketball hoop just against a flat wall. And maybe there was about 3 feet above the rim.
Yeah.
So I was like, can we have a ballot initiative to maybe raise the ceiling a bit? These kids have no shot at developing a jumper.
Guys who grew up in CYO leagues, because we all shoot just bricks.
Line drive.
We all just keep it tight.
Yes. And if you're going to the hole, there's a wall about a foot past the end line. There's no place to land.
Chris.
Ted Alexandro's new special, Senior Class of Earth. You can get that now at atcspecials.com. Go to tedalexandro.com for all of Ted's dates, and Ted Alexandro on Twitter.
Is this one that you're happy with, where you're like, okay, this is the hour I really want to represent this time in my life?
I'm really happy with this one, because this is my third one, and I feel like the goal that I set is that, does it represent what I'm doing now, where I'm at now? And it does. I would say it's half talking about my now wife, fiance at the time, so kind of just talking about my own life, and then the other half talking about the world. So I'm really happy with where it's at.
That really is the balance of doing stand-up, I think. Now, it's you have to give something of yourself away, but you don't want to be so self-indulgent that it's like being stuck having coffee with an old friend. You know what I mean? So sometimes with some of these comics, I'm just fucking figure it out for yourself, man.
Yeah, there is that vibe of we're all just hanging out.
Yeah.
Can you even tell that I'm on stage? It's I want to be able to tell that you're on stage.
Yes.
We're not friends. This is a different thing. There is something to be said for that casual conversational vibe. That's great.
Yeah.
But jokes do kind of help.
I've been hearing that in the alt rooms, it's getting stranger and stranger and stranger. And I do find that to be interesting, because I think sooner or later, something is going to break through. You know what I mean? Something besides a person with a microphone. You know.
Well, we've seen it a little bit with was it Drew Michaels' special? Like that was kind of shot without an audience, right?
Oh yeah, right.
Sound studio. So yeah, I mean, I guess they are trying to push the parameters. For me personally, I feel as though like what is specific about stand-up is the stakes of putting these ideas out in a room full of strangers, you know? Yeah. So while I saw that and enjoyed it, I felt as though ultimately, you know, like stand-up's a conversation. So you need, for me, if I were to, you know, any special I'm going to do, I think you need that conversation. You need the people laughing.
I think it's also why stand-ups are so approachable. No matter who they are, a person will walk up on the street and say, I saw you. Where you won't do that all the time with other art forms. You know what I mean? You wouldn't necessarily go up to somebody else and go, hey, here's what I think about what you did.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and stand-up now, I think even with social media and stuff too, it's funny because you get like, I don't know if you have this happen where people write you on Twitter, or, you know, they at you or whatever on Instagram, and they give you feedback on a joke. It's like, it's not enough that like I'm in a room with people laughing. Like that's how I edit my stuff. It's not one at a time.
Yeah.
Like, please send me your feedback. I just listen to the laughs. That's kind of how I do it, you know?
Ted, always good to see you. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, Ron. Great to see you, buddy.
I wish you all good things. Chris, one more time with the plug.
Ted Alexandro, his new special, Senior Class of Earth, is available now at atcspecials.com. Go to tedalexandro.com for all Ted's dates and at Ted Alexandro on Twitter.
And can I just say that ATC is all things comedy? That's Bill Burr and Al Madrigal's
that's great.
company, you know, like comedian owned.
All right. Thanks so much, my friend. See you next time.
You got it.
It's the Bennington Show. Ron Bennington.
Gail Bennington.
Doing our thing. Gail, did you feed the baby?
I did. She is well fed.
I'm not sure if I find natural like that to be very natural.
Really?
Seems odd to me.
Definitely shouldn't be done in public. I know that much.
I know this. She's going to be so excited when she finds out there's other food in the world. Like, imagine the look on her face the first time she bites into a donut. Now, I was raised high in the Rockies, so we didn't have a lot of things like that. So I never even tasted gum until I was 31 years old.
Oh my
31 years old. And I loved it. I said, look what I've invented. You can take this gum and you can blow a bubble with it.
The altitude must have been very difficult.
Didn't bother me, though. I used to like to say I was part mountain goat. And then the other part, Yeti.
That's scary.
Yeah. We used to do a thing called Yeti Spaghetti, where we would have a giant snowman bringing us pastas.
It sounded like a wonderful childhood, though.
It was, except for, you know, the killings. I think everyone thinks they have a wonderful childhood, right? Like, even if they're getting beat or something, they're like, well, this is what childhood is like.
Right.
You know what I mean? It isn't until later you found out. Oh, we forgot to bring this up. The present that you got yesterday for the baby.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that was so sweet from Tammy, which I opened just after we got off the air. But I mean, it was so sweet. It was like the classic golden books. Tammy
Unbelievable.
They were so sweet, and that's like the best gift ever.
Really
I loved
is.
those books.
And when you think that, you know, Vito and Chris chipped in for some flowers.
True.
To an infant that was hours old who had no idea what flowers were. Golden books, that's the way to travel. Chris, do we want to plug the Saturday show?
Yeah, let's plug it. Ron, this Saturday, November 10th, 2 p.m., Ron's hosting the panel, That's Offensive. Can Comedy Survive the New Sensitivity? On the panel, Big J. Okerson, Ari Shafir, Lisa Traeger, and Yamanika Saunders. Go to theinterrobang.com for a chance at free tickets to that event this Saturday.
For Edgy Comics, we're going to find out if there's, where they've gone with this. But it's very, very fascinating. I talked with Ted about this a little bit when you were breastfeeding, Gail.
Mm-hmm.
That was there jokes that you couldn't do anymore. And you would think, because the way he is, he'd be like, no, I was always woke. But he's like, yeah, I did some shit I'm not happy about. And I'm on my way out to that show, Ricky Gervais, where we all have to head over to the theater to sound check. And Chris came up with an idea that you thought would be fun.
Yeah, play the Unmasked we did with Ricky Gervais at the Village Underground.
Yes, at the Village Underground. That pause there was so exciting. Now, Gail, you were either just had the baby or were about to have the baby.
I had just had the baby. Yeah.
You just had the baby. What did you have? A little girl?
I did, as you know.
Yeah.
She's your granddaughter.
Just like that kid.
Yeah.
I think it might be, I don't want to say the best baby.
Feels like it.
But yeah, I can't think of a better one. And I wasn't there for baby Jesus. I'm sure he was adorable.
You think baby Jesus was an exceptional baby or a regular baby, and it wasn't until later he became
he was born the Son of God, and he was born in a pure vessel, or Virgin Mother.
But was he doing anything extraordinary yet? Or was he just
he was a baby. What do you want him to do? What's he going to do? Make a rattle? Fucking fly? I mean, he's not that kind of a baby.
That's exactly the kind of thing I was thinking.
The animals talked. Maybe that was him that did it. The sheep, all the animals were talking. Am I right about that, Earl?
I'm not sure if they were speaking.
The night the animals talked.
It wasn't the night. I thought it was the three wise men.
Wasn't there a thing is like they said he was never, I don't know, you would know, but like he couldn't stumble or like hurt his toe. Like he was always somebody watching after him. So he never even experienced like tripping and falling as a kid then.
He had perfect balance.
Yeah.
They also said that he could catch a fly between his fingers. It says that in the Bible.
God. See, this is the kind of stuff.
Just catch a fly. And remember the night that the animals talked, right?
Yeah.
There was a gay rooster, and you'll back me up on that, right, Earl?
I don't remember.
In the Bible, it says, instead of saying cock-a-doodle-doo, this rooster said any cock will do. The gay rooster of Christmas. And then even the pigs could talk. And you know what they said?
What they say?
Dirty. And then they went like this, don't eat me. Gervais was telling me the other day that that animals don't have thoughts, that we just project these thoughts on them all the time.
I figure a dog must have some sort of thought.
I know Birdie has thoughts.
I know.
I can see her thinking. I can see her get an idea. Like I watch the thought come across her head like, I'm thirsty. And then she'll get up and go get a drink of water.
Dude, the way that you keep that like little, whatever that food thing is in her ball.
Oh yeah, she has a tricky treat ball.
She spins it around and acts like she's doing a great thing by like she figured out how to get the treats to fall out of the ball. Fucking cracks me up.
Her footwork is pretty impressive too.
The thing about her is she will not share. Not a big sharer. Never checks to see if anybody else is hungry.
Which is weird because she wants your food, but like she's never offered.
Yeah, I'll even say to her, you see me staring at you when you're eating? No. All right, so we want to throw this to Ricky Gervais, Unmasked. And then I'll be with Ricky tonight at Hunter College. I believe we gave away all the tickets we had today, yes, right? So congratulations, everybody. That's it for us. Gervais Unmasked. We'll see you tomorrow.
Wow, thank you very much.
That's a way to enter a room, the Bowie, huh?
Like a rock star.
Yeah.
And then us two walk out.
Yeah, then we walk out, and we'll just be having a conversation. But you know, every time I think of you, I always
masturbate.
Yes. And right after I come, I think to myself, that thing that you did with Bowie on Extras was so amazing because I'm a giant Bowie fan.
So was I.
Yeah.
He was, my hero for years, musical hero. I mean, I think I'd loved him for about 25 years before I met him, and then to do that, yeah, it was incredible. It was so fun.
It's one of the best scenes I've ever seen shot, like in terms of like what an artist is, because you see him being a person for, you know, listening to you, and then suddenly the muse hits.
Well, the idea came from that saying you should never meet your heroes,
right,
in case they're an arsehole. And of course, and so that's what he did, but obviously he wasn't. He's a lovely bloke, was a lovely man in real life and everything. But the idea was that he didn't care about me. A fan meeting someone, they just don't care. They're just thinking, oh, this is a little fat guy. I'm going to sing a song about him to his face and accidentally insult him.
Right. But that was the thing. Like, he just gave in to the art of the moment, which is always... It's always fascinating to me, like, where songs come from or how they come in.
Well, obviously, we had the idea to where to do it, and I called him. I'd met him a few times, and I said, I'd love to do this thing with you. And I wrote the lyrics, and I sent him the lyrics, and I called him up. I said, did you get them? Because I wanted him to do the music. He went, yeah, I got them. I said, yeah, give us something like, something retro, like, Life on Mars. He went, oh, yeah, I'll knock off a quick fucking Life on Mars for you. Such an insult.
Yeah. But that's literally interesting now. Now there's this song that you co-wrote with Bowie.
I know, it's amazing. Yeah. And we had to come up with a title to put it on, like PRS and all those things. So I think we called it Pug Nosed Face.
That had to be before. You hadn't met him before you booked him to do this.
I met him. I loved him for years and everything. It was my hero. When I talked about him, everyone knew that. I was a Bowie clone freak. I loved him. And I went to see him. I was newly famous. I think The Office had been out, and I was invited to one of those sort of VIP things at the BBC where a rock star plays an intimate set. So I got to go there, right? And we're in the green room afterwards. It was just me and Jane, my girlfriend, and the then Director General of the BBC, Greg Dyke, bounced over to me and said, "You're a huge Bowie fan, aren't you?" I went, yeah. He went, "Come and meet him." I went, "Really?" He went, "Yeah, come on," right? We're walking down through the green room to meet Bowie. On the way, went, Salman Rushdie joined us. So me, the director, it was crazy. Went down, knocked on his door. He answered the door. He went, "Hello, Salman." "Hello." And he went, "Hello, Greg." I went, "Oh, this is Ricky and Jane." "Hello, Ricky." "Hello, Jane." And that was it. He didn't know who I was, I'm sure. And about a week later, I got an email from Bowie. He can do that. He's Bowie. Right? And it just said he'd got the box set of The Office. Someone must have told him who I was, and he got the DVD. And he said, "I watched, I laughed, what do I do now?" And we sort of became pen pals. So I plucked up courage to ask him to do this thing. And then he said, to return the favour, he was doing a benefit for the High Line. I think it was 2007. And he said, "Do you want to come over and play?" And he booked me into the Whammy Theatre at Madison Square Garden. Mm-hmm. And I said, I thought of it because it was a charity event. I thought it'd be like people in sort of like tuxedos and stuff. And I didn't realise I hadn't done one before. That it's just my crowd and I give the money to So I thought, and I said, "Have you seen my stuff?" I said, "Shall I do something?" He said, "Do whatever you like. Just make sure it's delightfully offensive." Right? And so we did that, and he came out on stage with a little harmonica, and he just went, "Chubby little loser." And he sang that song, and he brought me out, and the crowd didn't know he was going to, and they went fucking mental.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Yeah.
It's amazing how long he lived in New York and managed to kind of stay. Like, he could be Bowie when he wanted to, but just walk the streets.
Yeah. When we went to his place downtown, and I went, and there was the concierge, and I said, he went, oh, you're here to see Mr. Jones? I went, I thought, of course I'm here to see Mr. Jones. Right? And I went up there and of course, David Bowie doesn't exist. David Bowie's he's a normal bloke who just got brilliant at something. He had no airs and graces. He'd wander around, be left alone. And I don't know what I expected for them to be like dressed as a spaceman with, and going things like, I don't eat food, I eat air. I go, but he was just a bloke from London. It was just brilliant. That's all, you know. And he's still a surprise. You know?
Yes, I was at a thing that. It was some kind of it was Lou Reed was doing this photography thing, right? And it was like a cool night. Julian Schnabel was there and Laurie Anderson, and everybody was in this room, and there was the stairs. But from the back, you could just hear silence approaching us because everybody saw Bowie and just got quiet. And I never had this experience. Silence came across the room, and that's that kind of thing that he had. That how many people?
I know
on the planet have.
And the fact that he was an artist till the end, like literally the very end, churning out probably one of the best albums of the year. You know,
sure.
69 and knew he was dying, and it's just
which incredible. I still can't even listen to.
I know I had a problem with I did particularly Where Are We Now?
Yeah,
it was fucking heartbreaking. It's amazing.
That's also like the thing I think that happened with you that was so strange is that you kind of made it later in life and then were able to do all these things that maybe if you would have made it younger
I'd be dead.
You would be dead by now.
No, seriously. No, I think I didn't even think of doing comedy. Well, maybe I did, I can't remember, but I failed as a pop star early on, which was good. I think again probably a blessing in disguise. 21, thought I was going to be a pop star because of Bowie. Ripped him off. I could then. I had cheekbones, and it was all over quickly. And I realised I had got a normal job, and the normal job I got was working in an office for 10 years. And then I got a break that I went to help out a local radio station, and I popped up on air because I was always one of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just wasn't a professional. I didn't.
Right.
I was always trying to make people laugh and having a laugh, and the same as everyone. So I popped up on air, and I was showing off and trying to be funny, and there was this new show starting on Channel 4 called the 11 O'Clock Show, like 1998, and I don't know how to describe it. It's like SNL but with no rules. I don't know how we got away with it. It was, I mean, it's gone back again now with, with political correctness, but it was crazy. And they heard me and they invited me along, and I did an audition, and I did a character. It's like a fake news show. So the character I did was a news reporter who was a bit of a scummy sort of guy. So he'd start talking about a news story, and then he'd start doing his own thing, like don't get me started on nurses. So the joke was to be like this right-wing sort of crazy, bore this, and then everything sort of came from there, and The Office was a couple of years later, which.
But see, that's the thing I think that is one of the hardest things to do comedically is know how to find that kind of asshole in yourself, because it's not our natural thing of like, oh, let me take that part of me that's kind of a prick and...
Well, sort of, except it's sort of a get-out clause, isn't it? Because I found that with, like, when I did extras, that the worse you made the fake person, the more they enjoyed it. Because they're sort of saying, well, this can't be me then.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going, if I'm joking about it, that isn't... And it wasn't. But if you take a little side of yourself, because we're all a bit narcissistic and scared and worried and think bad things and say stupid things, so all you have to do is think, well, what's the worst thing? And the trouble with irony is, some people don't get it.
Yes. Yeah.
That's no reason to not do it.
Right.
You just need to appeal to the people who do get it.
Yeah.
And so that's a problem these days, that the irony isn't valued anymore because people don't believe you, because there are more and more people like that guy that aren't being ironic.
Yeah.
So it's a dangerous game.
Sure.
You sort of want to do a joke and go, I'm not really on their side.
Yeah.
Like this is, so.
That is the truth. And you have to be careful, like in your own fans. Like, hey, easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Easy.
Yeah, well, some people don't get it, but that's not our problem. I don't think people not getting our joke is our problem.
Right.
Do you know?
Yeah.
It's...
Those are all the people who think they get the joke. That's the sad thing. They're all went, oh, us, you mean? Yeah, we're good.
But it really is that case of people come up and they say, I was offended by that joke. And, my first reaction is, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that doesn't mean anything. You're telling me how you feel. What I want to say why. Why, and I'll explain to them. I'm willing to explain to them why the joke isn't offensive. I'm not one of the people that think I'm going to say what I want, I'm going to be as offensive, and then go fuck you as a joke. I'm willing to explain why it's not offensive. That often offence comes when people mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same. Particularly if you deal in taboo subjects, which I do, because I want to go there, because I want to take the audience by the hand and take them through a scary forest. Do you know what I mean? I like the discomfort of expressing and talking about really uncomfortable things, because that's what most people worry about. If you're in a safe world where your firstborn isn't dying of dysentery and you're not being shot at, the worst thing that happens is something embarrassing happens to you, or you say a stupid thing or bad service. So that's why I deal with those things, because everyone understands it.
And the sensitivity, there is definitely a new sensitivity.
There is, yeah.
In the world, which, at some point, I think everyone needs to pay attention to as well, because where did this, how did this thing swell up unless there were people feeling something?
It became tribal. It became, I think that everything that's happened now, people aren't necessarily the cause. It's a symptom of what was often happening. And people want to be heard. And now, because it's fallen into two tribes in the echo chamber, and it's the case of you're either with us or against us. No one looks at the actual argument anymore. They look at who's saying it, and they decide if they're on that person's side or not.
Right.
So arguments don't have credibility anymore. It's just people shouting each other down. So you've got to be on our side. I mean, I see people really supporting a bad argument because they're actually supporting the person they support, who has a bad argument. And I think that facts are in jeopardy. It's this post-truth thing where we've always had my opinion is worth as much as your opinion, but now we've got my opinion is worth as much as your fact, and that's fucking nonsense. It's really odd. It's a really odd...
Yeah.
And it's like a willful ignorance. It's the people that they say, well, maybe I do, maybe I don't, but I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of agreeing with you. So I'm going to say I don't. It's really odd. It's very odd.
It is, and then you have to remember, and you can remember this from being a kid. There is a lot of comfort in being in the pack. You know what I mean? So if you're running with the pack, you're like, well, this is great. Someone else is the gazelle, and I'm with the lions, and this is a good feeling.
Yeah, it's strange that democracy now is people trying to be on the winning side, which is odd because we're all on the same side.
Right.
It's an odd thing. I saw it in England after Brexit. They think they won something. It was odd.
Yes.
We're all in it now, but they were out the next day with placards saying "Go home, immigrants." I think because they were validated. It's like we haven't won anything. It is an odd feeling now that it is a sort of strange tribalism.
Yeah, it is, and we're here in New York, which has gotten very different from America. You know what I mean? Like, America is starting to feel like it's on the other side of the river. You know what I mean? And we're here in Berlin,
Yeah. I mean, that's always been...
Yeah.
It's always been a little bit like that, hasn't it?
Yeah.
For my stand-up, I don't play that big bit in the middle just in case.
You take a long flight in between gigs.
I'm not a brave man. I look down and I go, I've got enough money. I've got enough money.
That's so great. But that, like you said, that suddenly becomes this weird tribal thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I actually try and keep politics out of my stand-up and out of my comedy, because I think Not because I think I'd divide the room in two. I'm willing to do that. It's more that I think if you're getting a round of applause because people agree with your politics, it's losing something comedically. I don't like it from either side. That's just rallying. You know, I've seen a northern comic come out in England, and he's come out and go, "What are we going to do about these fucking immigrants?" And he gets a round of applause, and I just think, "What's the joke?"
Yeah, right.
Where's the joke?
Yeah.
It's like okay, right. That's how you feel. Now tell us a joke.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do that even for the other side in a way.
Well, here's what happens. I think also is like you put this out as a special. You're reading the room. Everything is going over in the room. But once the special goes out, a lot of people have a tendency to think, "Oh, everything that one thing felt like it stepped on me."
Of course.
A little bit.
Well, everyone thinks that their thing is the worst.
Right.
So, you know, I talk about this in the special that I make jokes about. That doesn't mean they're the victim of the joke. It's the subject of the joke is famine, the Holocaust. You know, violence, murder, AIDS, cancer, and then. But someone actually tweeted me, and I did a joke about nut allergies, and
yeah,
and I got into a Twitter war saying about. She said you should never joke about food allergies, and I said I make jokes about AIDS, cancer, famine, and the Holocaust. And you're telling me I shouldn't make jokes about food allergies? She tweeted back, yes, but the Holocaust didn't kill children. So my thing's worse than that thing. My things think worse than that thing. I liked all that stuff. I get all that. And the other thing is, people can see the irony in all those other things. They know I'm joking about famine. They know I'm joking about cancer. But when it comes to them, they think, well, that's not joking.
Yes,
it's my thing. They can't see the wood for the trees because it's very personal, and I understand it. I understand why it's not funny to them. That's it. But it doesn't mean I shouldn't do it because it's not funny to them. But I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings, and I'm not doing it to them. I don't know them. I don't know what they do or anything about.
You're not throwing peanuts out into the crowd.
Exactly.
Hey, let's see who has the allergies.
Exactly.
By the way, why is it? I never heard of cashews or anything else. It's just. It always seems like it's just peanuts.
No, it's loads. It's loads.
It
depends. It depends what you've got. You can. Yeah.
There's a walnut allergy.
I mean, the peanut is not even a nut; it's a legume. So someone's fucking.
Yeah.
Someone's lying.
Yeah.
Imagine me doing that as a doctor.
But you don't seem like you get upset when this stuff starts to roll back at you.
No, I don't get upset.
Yeah.
But I've been put in an awkward position because I do want to explain why it's okay, and then I get, someone's got thin skin. Well, I can't win then.
Yeah, right.
I want to explain why it's okay. I mean, I should ignore it really because you can. You can actually ignore it, but I don't want to because also it feeds back into the routine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we think everything's 10 minutes. So you know what I mean? If something comes up against a routine, that adds it to the routine.
Yeah.
So we want to discuss that, and I think that's what it is because I've talked about taboo subjects, and then it's being discussed on the radio whether they should be the subject of comedy. I want to go, well, you're discussing them.
Yes, exactly.
So why can't I?
Yeah.
I'm just doing it funnier than you.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times that will happen that they can't wait to run and bring this into the media. But you're the reason why. Yeah, you're the reason why the person found out about it.
Well, that's the other thing as well. Sometimes I willingly get into an argument with someone about their thing because I want them to get publicity for their thing.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I'm willing to, discuss it and say why my joke isn't. I'm not having a go. I don't really believe that, and here's why the joke's valid, and good luck, and because I have got nothing against them. I don't want them to think that I hate them because it's a joke.
It's just a joke. Yeah.
But yeah, it's you'd be if you apologised for one thing. I'd be writing letters every day.
Yes, you would be. There's no doubt about that. Now, you've never done the public apology thing. You've never had to, You know, because we've had a lot of friends who said, "I'll never apologize," and then they're like, "Look, I'm apologizing.
Well, I don't.
I want to keep my job."
I don't know. I don't know if I have. I've explained. If that's an apology, I've explained jokes before. But I should know better. If I'm apologising for someone, I shouldn't have said it in the first place.
Yes.
You know, I'm a grown man. You know, and I don't go out. I don't go out in the Golden Globes and make stuff up and then go, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that." I knew what I was going to say. I practiced it in the mirror.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But when you walk out at a place like the Golden Globes and you know, I've got that joke coming. Let's say you're doing a joke about a certain celebrity, and you know it's coming 2 or 3 jokes later, but you can see that person sitting there right now.
Well, I know they're going to be there.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing. I think if I couldn't tell a joke because a particular person was in the audience, then I shouldn't tell the joke.
Yeah.
Because I've got to be brave enough to explain to that person why that joke is okay, and I want to stand by it. So I try and make them. I'm trying to make them bulletproof, where I can, you know, defend it later in a way. But you know, and again, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Got nothing against those people. I don't go for anything they can't help. I tease public behaviours that they can help and that we all know about.
Right.
So I don't do anything that bad, you know. Yeah. So no, I'm not really worried about that, and I don't worry about the so-called backlash or people not liking it or even not laughing. The only thing I worry about is doing the joke well. Do you know? If I do the joke well, I've done my job, and then whatever happens, because whatever you do, someone's going to be offended by it. If someone wants to be offended, they're going to find a way to be offended. Any joke, someone can. Why did the chicken cross the road? Hey, my fucking chicken died earlier.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know, so you've just got to do your best and stand by it.
But you do prefer the thin ice. There's no doubt about that.
I like the tension.
Yeah.
I like the tension. The whole concept of a joke is the surprise. It's the whole concept. So the bigger that surprise, the bigger, and that can be a gasp or a laugh or at least it's got to hit something. There's got to be a reaction.
Yeah.
And I do think of it as a discussion. I do think of it as a putting it out there. That's why I like the elephant in the room. You know, I do like that. I like because people are waiting for it, and how do you deal with it? So it really is a roller coaster for people's emotions.
Sure.
You know, that's fun. That's a workout for the soul.
I always and I love soul talk from a atheist. That's always exciting because I've had this talk with people before. I find your work to be pretty spiritual in terms of connectedness. You know what I mean?
I'm spiritual, not in the sense that I believe there's a God or anything like that. But if you mean how much I'm in awe of the world and humanity and art, and of course, I'm very spiritual. I love it. I just think there's a reason we're like this, and I think it can be sort of explained. My new show that I'm working on now, the follow-up to Humanity, is called Supernature for 2 reasons. I'm going to lightly debunk. I don't think there's anything supernatural by definition. I think anything that is explainable in a scientific way, whether we know it or not at the moment.
Right.
You know. And the other side of it is that I think nature is super enough. You know, we don't need to make stuff up. You know, it's amazing. Life and the universe is fucking incredible. We don't need to invent angels and unicorns. We've got the fucking octopus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
8 legs, 9 hearts, 3 brains, 1 eye, and a beak. Make your fucking mind up.
But and so many of those things were monsters before we've figured out what to call them and how to describe them. You know?
Yeah, and there's lots of reasons. There's lots of reasons for spirituality in that sense, and I've got no problem with that. It's a personal journey, and but religion's slightly different. Religion is exploiting spirituality by someone thinking they know something,
right,
and I can help you out. Just pay me this, and you'll go to heaven. Yeah.
But why do you think humans are not more in awe of just the fact that there's anything that exist and all the amazing. You think that we'd be flipping out all the time, like this is amazing.
Well, yeah. I mean, I suppose we do. It's just that we take so much for granted because we're born into this. I mean, you think of a scientist being brought back to life from 100 years ago. I mean, it's incredible, and I think that we don't want to. I think we're arrogant. I think there's an arrogance in us that, I mean, the chance of us being here, like this sperm meeting this egg and us being us, right, is 400 trillion to 1, right? Yet that's amazing, and yet we arrogantly think, well, I deserve a second one.
Yeah, right.
I want a second one.
Yeah.
So we think, well, I'll probably go to heaven, or I'll come back as someone else, or and I know why, because it's terrifying to think I won't exist one day, and so we try and think, well, it's okay. Now, I don't think we will, but it doesn't depress me. It doesn't depress me because I think how lucky I am to be here, and I want to run around and learn everything I can and get drunk every night and yeah, and then die.
Well,
which is going to happen.
Yeah,
it's lucky I want that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be disappointed.
Yeah. Now, it is your next series that you're doing, Afterlife, is, to me, already kind of digging yourself into that scary place before you start, because it's about a guy who loses his wife and what's next. And I think that's the real unspoken fear of every man. You know what I mean? That's the scariest thing ever that you could think about.
Lonely, yeah, of course, yeah. I play a guy. I'm married. We hit the ground running. I've already lost my wife. It starts with her. She's obviously had chemotherapy, and she's saying, "If you're watching this, I'm not around anymore. I couldn't say this to your face, but you're amazing, but you're fucking useless." And it starts with her leaving a little guide to, how to fill the washing machine and stuff like that. And,
right.
I'm thinking of, I nearly commit suicide, but I don't because the dog's hungry. And that gives me long enough to think, right, okay, I won't kill myself for now, but I'm gonna punish the world. I'm gonna start saying and doing exactly what the fuck I want, and then when it all gets too much, I can kill myself. It's like a superpower, and of course, it doesn't go as planned.
Yeah.
So it's a good guy trying to be a psychopath because he's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt, and so he's going to lash out.
Yeah. But his friends remember he was a good guy, and they sort of try and save him. So it's funny, but it's really sweet as well when you see the development. And he's always watching home videos of this perfect marriage, and then having to deal with fucking idiots. Yeah, that it drives him.
But mental. Don't you think it doesn't fall into anyone's head that any guy doesn't think, well, I'll die first. We could just, I'll die first is the easy way to deal with it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but then that's selfish.
Yes, like all the things we've done our whole life, very incredibly selfish.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's no change. Even the thought of death. I know. Yeah. That's sort of true.
But most guys are like, oh, I'm in this partnership, but they have no idea what's on the other side of that. You know what I mean? They have no idea because, again, like you were talking about, we just take things for granted.
It would be awful.
Yeah.
What would we be like?
Yeah.
What would be? I mean, we'd move in together, wouldn't we?
Yes, we'd have to. Only in this one there would be 2 slots.
Yeah.
Just a filthy.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Fucking kill me.
Yeah. The great thing is, though, we'd have your money. So.
We're married now, are we? Right, okay. This is getting a bit.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Well, we're both big Bowie fans. I thought that's.
We can live it. We can live in my house.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Houses.
Yeah.
International houses.
Oh, it's a trap.
Yeah. Now, did you think after you hit that you would still be working this hard at different projects all the time? Because
no, I didn't know what to expect. I wanted a piece of it, and I thought, I don't know. I mean, you couldn't. You don't know. I think I was 39, 40 when The Office hit, and it was a slow burner, and then I did the next thing, and I was already mid-40s before I thought, I can do this forever. But you don't think that. You just think, you don't think I can be successful forever. You think I can do what I want forever.
Yes.
And I've always done that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I've done that when I was poor or whatever. I've always wanted to get up every day and do what I want and earn enough money to play and have a drink at night, and that's my life hasn't changed. I just travel better and live in a bigger house. You know what I mean? Literally, I really don't think my life's. But as I get older, I seem to wake up and sort of notice the privilege more and more. Stand up alone, right? My last tour, Humanity. Before that, I hadn't toured for 7 years. But because I thought stand up was like the second or third thing I did. I thought I wrote and directed narrative comedy of some sort, and that was it. But I wanted to be a stand-up because I thought it was cool. And after Humanity, I sort of stripped it down and just walked out and started acting like a comedian. And that sounds weird. And what I mean by that is I approached my first few stand-ups like a writer. I'd write it like an Edinburgh show and then go out and get good at it. This time I wandered out and started chatting, and it felt so much better. It felt so much better to do it like that, to find the funny.
Yeah, it's a different art form.
It's a different art form. Thing. It's almost not an art form because it's more like a science. It works or it doesn't, and you know that, and it's like natural selection. Mm-hmm. You can't get it wrong. You can have bad gigs, but if you do 50 gigs, you know what you keep and what's left is laughs because the audience choose it for you.
Yes.
It's almost too easy. Whereas you write a sitcom, you think, I don't know whether that's good or bad, and you put it out there, and you could be wrong. Whereas you can, if it's not working, you change it the next night. So it really evolves, and then when it's finished, it works everywhere, and it works every night. It's great. I absolutely love it, and it's such a privilege, particularly now that I can go out and people have paid to hear me say exactly what I want. That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's better than anything else I do.
And it's a very weird connection, right? It's an amazing connection.
And I really like the audience now. I really I really appreciate them. Before I thought, get in, get out, and if they laugh, that's great, and get home. And I felt, in retrospect, I felt like a fraud. And now I want to. I could, stand there. I could sit there. I wish I could sit down. That would be great. If I could do stand up sitting down.
Well, Cosby did that, and look how that turned out. You don't want to.
Did he?
Yeah, he used to sit in a chair.
Oh, really?
The whole night, yeah. I like the way everyone groaned for a second. Like, was that a pro-Cosby thing? Hey!
It was for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was for a while. Yeah. 3 women, 10 women, 52 women. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
After 8, I was still like, but Fat Albert is amazing. And as we went along. At a certain point, you go, okay, yeah, that's it. But, that is also on such like a cellular level. Any kind of stand-up reminds me of being a kid with your friends, that you had to learn that thing of who you can tease and how you can tease them and what can be done.
Nothing's as funny as that.
Yeah.
Nothing's as funny as that. A group of mates being funny. It's incredible. There's nothing like it. And if you can get close to being on stage and nearly being as funny as you are in the pub with your best mates, you've won. There's just but you will never. Everyone's funny. The funniest person everyone knows isn't a professional comedian.
Yes, that's
it's
true.
Their fucking uncle or their granddad or their mate, because it's that wealth of knowledge behind everything. You know, they just and if you can get that with the audience in 70 minutes, then it is
the only kind of art form that you have to go backwards and find out. You know what I mean? What did I do without thinking about it? You know what I mean? Like that thing of standing on a street corner with your friends.
And it's funny because if you're pretty good, it is all intuitive. You know, you don't know you're doing something. You're doing something with your hands that you realize, why are they laughing? Oh, I did something with my hands I didn't know. And so when you do it, it's a joke is sort of 80% there when it comes to you. You can, it's that last, 20% to it. But if you're funny, you say funny things most of the time. And you just got to make it.
And you know, that's that spiritual connection, because have you ever had that thing where you say something fast and then you think, oh, how did I think of that fast? And you really don't know how you got that line.
And the thing is, you do an ad lib one night and you riff on it and it's amazing, and you go and do it the next night and you go, I don't know what it did before it. It's not the same. Right. And it takes you about 20 to get it as good as the first time you did it. Yeah. Because there is something about that, you know, and the audience know. The audience know they've heard some that you didn't say the night before.
Right.
And that's what I hate it when I see a comedian come out, right? He tells a joke and then he goes, you didn't, last night they loved that.
Yeah.
I think, why are you telling the audience off for not liking it as much as the guy? Like, they don't think it's a factory. They want to think that
it's like saying to a woman, oh, last night she loved the finger in her ass. What is going on now? You know? You never want to give that away, that this is your technique.
That's a very interesting analogy. that my comedy is rather like having a rectal examination. How funny is Ricky? Honestly, it felt like I had a finger up my ass. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Five stars. There's 5 fingers up the arse. Amazing. I'd love to get that review. Fucking hell. Did I laugh? Fucking hell. Oh, Jesus.
Everybody is always amazed that you don't come and hang here at the Cellar when you're in New York City.
I'm scared.
Really?
Well, no, it's on too late for me. I'm sort of, I like to be, seriously.
Yeah.
I'm like an old person. I come here and we eat at 6.
Mm-hmm.
We're finished by 7. Home with a bottle of wine at like 7:10 because we eat near our apartment. And if someone said you've got a comedy gig at 8, I'm not going out at 8. What am I, a vampire? Why am I going out at 8? It's too late.
Yeah.
I wish I could gig at 6. I wish I could do my tour at 6.
I think there's a 6 o'clock show here.
Is there?
Yeah. There's a 7 o'clock show, and then they're all.
It's creeping later and later.
Yeah. There's a Sunday brunch show here. It's 2 o'clock.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do matinees when I'm doing warm-ups.
Yeah.
I'd love it. I do like 4 o'clocks and stuff. Yeah.
And it's real weird because since it's in a cellar, it feels like it's night. You know what I mean? So and these people are drinking like animals. You know, it all works out.
I'd love to one day.
Yeah.
I would love to one day, yeah.
But you are like a celebrity that doesn't seem like you have a social life whatsoever.
No.
You know?
I don't.
Yeah.
No.
Have you ever been to like a Hollywood party or something? Yeah.
And we can't wait to leave it to get back to the hotel and open a bottle of wine and watch shitty telly.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. I can't stand being in a suit. I can't stand sweating. I can't stand shouting to talk to someone. There's lots of people there I'd like to talk to, but I'd want to go. Let's go to a.
Yeah.
And no, even if we have dinner with people like once a month, they say 8:30. I go, fuck. I'll see you at 6.
Right.
I'll be there at 6. You turn up when you want, and I'll be gone by 8:30.
Yeah.
No, I'm too. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. It's that there's not much that competes with sitting at home in your pajamas drinking wine with your girlfriend and your cat watching telly.
It really is funny too the way people act like travel is the most exciting or the best best thing you could do, or doing some when you think like really, because the best feeling normally is just being home.
And I do like traveling. I mean, I like being to places, but it's just that I have to work up to it, just like the flight, and it doesn't get any better. You know, I can afford to. You know, it's not like I'm in a coach, and but I still think, what if my back goes? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
What if I get diarrhea? there's always a downside.
Yeah.
As to the,
better off just staying here.
Yeah.
Looking at things out the window. There it is.
No, and I do, and I really appreciate it. And I honestly, traveling around with Humanity, I chose the nicest places in the world to play, and we went and we had a holiday as well, and it's great. But I need that as well. I'm not one of these people that thinks it's all about the. I don't want to create an Apocalypse Now moment that I go, oh, it was great, it won an Oscar, but I had 2 heart attacks.
Yeah.
I want to go, it was fun, it was easy, and they paid me, you know. And I enjoyed every minute of it.
Right.
I think life's too. I don't. You know. I just want. I want the best of all worlds. I could have achieved so much more if I wasn't so lazy. And often my laziness has been mistaken for integrity.
Oh, we turned down that big project.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
he's wonderful artist.
Yeah. No, there was a night shoot. Forget it. Forget it.
I've never heard anyone promote laziness, and I think that's interesting. You know,
I'm like the opposite of Kevin Hart. it's like
I literally just bit on a joke then because I was afraid of Kevin Hart, because I was going to say, oh, because you're funny, and then I thought to myself, that's the reaction I'll get.
What, are they booing because you diss Kevin Hart, or are they booing because you were too cowardly to diss Kevin Hart?
No, because they love Kevin Hart. The world loves Kevin Hart. No. I think he's brilliant. I've actually said, no, I know. Mark my words. Mark my words.
What is he connected or something?
Yeah.
Why are you so scared to talk about him?
Oh, no, I'm just saying that I believe Kevin Hart is the next Bill Cosby. I really believe that. I do. I think they're both from Philadelphia. Oh, you bailed on me. You were like, oh, no.
Yeah.
It was me and you for a while.
I haven't said anything bad about Kevin Hart. I've just said I'm lazy and he's not. I mean, you said what you like about it. I think he's great.
You know, after this is edited, everyone will love it. So, the funny thing is that you say you're lazy because you've done as many projects as anyone's ever done.
Yeah, but they've all been so short.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I potter along, and I think it seems like I've done more because I do promote them and I pop up on things that sort of carry on. They've sort of got no pun. They've got an afterlife. You know, that people watch them again and again, and I don't know when they were out. And there's lots of stuff out there now because of the internet that I'm always around, but I haven't been on telly for. I think Derek was the last thing I did 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, I did the tour, and that's one thing. It just seems like I'm around, but actually, it takes a long time to do something. You know, it takes me 3 years to come up. You know, I have to have the idea, write it, then direct it, film it, edit it, and then promote it. And even 6 little episodes takes me 2 years. And then, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I started late. Maybe I think people look at me and think he's been around for ages.
Yeah.
He's done so much stuff, and I don't think I have done a lot of stuff. I've popped up in things,
but you are right. A lot of people will their series will go on for 10 years or something.
Kevin Hart's done 17 films this year.
I'm not familiar with his work, but I understand he's fantastic.
Do you know what? I haven't seen anything he's been in, so I feel I haven't seen a film he's done or his stand-up. He's probably amazing. But
yes.
But I do know that he promote, and he is the opposite to me.
He's a marketer.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I just haven't got the fucking energy.
Yeah.
He's in the gym at 4:00 or something.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Right. But he's also one of those guys that like. If he would have went into a dry cleaning business, he'd have 180 of them by now. You know what I mean? Like he was going to be successful.
He's got energy.
Yeah.
I haven't got energy.
Yeah.
I do anything I can do sitting down.
Now, have you ever came up with an idea for a project and it didn't pan out and you had to bail out?
Not the one that I've started that didn't work. But I've got usually 5 ideas and I choose one, and then maybe I go back to one that I had, years ago that I think I could do now that it wasn't right then. But no, I've never started a project and bailed on it. Some would say maybe I should have. No, I just because I as I say I do. I always make it very finite. I do nearly everything I've done has been like 2 series of 6, not a US series.
Right.
12 episodes and a special. I did that with The Office, Extras, Derek, Idiot Abroad. I've done half of them. Thank you. I've popped up in a couple of movies. I've done a couple of my own, and stand up, and I can see me doing this and doing the same, maybe a couple of series and a special, and then just being a stand-up, or having to write myself something where I'm in hospital. Do you know what I mean?
Just laying down.
Yeah, just laying down. That'd be my idea. Yeah, just me. I'm in a coma, and it's dreams I have of the rest of the world. That'd be fucking great. That's a great idea.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I can't believe the 2 of us just came up with that.
You're the doctor that comes in and does a bit, does 10 minutes and goes, hey, he's still out, and then you walk away.
I just want to create it by and never show up.
And in my dream, you're the sexy nurse because we see you talking and me dreaming of you.
Now, the really great thing is if that's your first real failure. Whereas, like, after one episode, they just pull it. They're like, this is too stupid. Now, when we brought up with Bowie and went back to meet your heroes, what other heroes did you have the chance to meet?
De Niro springs to mind.
Yeah.
It was lovely. I met him on a film called Stardust, and I definitely want to impress him. I could see I was sort of making jokes and looking, see if he laughed.
But it's the people that you loved when you were a kid that you can't get by.
Of course. Yeah, they were already legends, and but De Niro's incredible.
Chris
Bowie.
Gass, you got to do stuff.
My God, probably the single biggest influence on me. Spinal Tap, I still think is the funniest film of all time. Yeah, and apparently Jamie, his wife, saw The Office and said, you've got to watch this, and he watched it, and she said, call him, and he went, I don't call people.
He does, yeah.
And he called me up, and yeah, we sort of became friends, and he's lovely. We text each other stupid pictures of, a combined age of 120, I don't know, and we send each other stupid fucking pictures. And he's a lord.
Right, he is.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
I saw that interview that you did with him too, and he's like a different kind of funny. You know what I mean? Like he's not just like, hey, let me come in and take over a room. You know what I mean?
No, he's so secure and funny, and it's like I went to dinner with him once, and in this restaurant there was like him, Larry David, Martin Short, someone else, but I could tell they all wanted him to laugh.
Right.
They all. He's sort of the king.
Yeah, and they all kind of came up together too, which is really strange, like that magical time of the 70s for comedy.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, I hadn't heard of him until I saw Spinal Tap, and
Is that right?
I didn't even know they were American. I found out I didn't.
Is that right?
Yeah, because I didn't get all those things that he was in before that really.
Yeah.
And I was just blown away. And I think I saw it in about 1984. Again,
when it came out,
bootleg yeah. And I thought, well, no one's going to like this film as much as I do. This is,
Yeah.
and of course, everyone loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't at first. It was a flop when it
Really?
came out. Yeah, it was
Oh,
a
right.
flop. And then once it got to cables, people started to watch it over and over. I always think that that's fascinating, too. And you have this, that there'll be certain lines that people will say forever. You know what I mean? That they see in something.
There's certain things that me and my friends who watch it, we do that thing where it just crops up in conversation. We're too much fucking perspective.
Yeah, right.
You know,
yeah.
you just suddenly want to drop a reference. I used to watch it when I was waiting for a cab or something. It was always in the machine. I've watched it 50 times.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's just incredible that it's ad libbed as well. I mean, I know there's a structure,
Right.
And I got to work with him on what was it called? What was the film I was in with Chris?
It was what was it called?
No, he was in that. What? No, I was in there. I put him in that.
No. It was the one that about the
Waiting for
Hollywood.
Purim.
Yeah.
It was meant to be called Waiting for Purim, and they changed it to. What was it called? No one knows.
No, it wasn't the invention of lying.
Home for the Hot. Yeah, what was it called?
I can't think of it
with
right
a
now.
senior
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah. But the whole room is having a weird senior moment.
What?
No, that isn't the title.
No,
that was the
that's not
working title.
That's the working title. Yeah.
Roadhouse. That's it.
No,
it was Roadhouse. You were this incredible bouncer that was able to come in and calm down any bar.
Nothing. This is for your consideration. There's a winner. We have a winner. Yeah.
The rest of you people really let us down. But that was I mean, he, like, the films that he's directed and that whole crew that he put together, unbelievable. And then to invite you in,
It was lovely.
You
It
were
was
the only outsider.
I know,
of that.
and I felt like it. I felt because they all knew each other and they were so lovely and welcoming. He's lovely, and then I popped him in just for the sake of it, Invention of Lying, just to have him around, and then I interviewed him for just again, and now we always see him when we go to LA, and we have dinner with him when he goes through London, and he's like he's a friend.
You know, Invention of Lying was such a strange premise to start with. You
Yeah.
know, that you've taken the audience to a completely different world, but it's not science fiction. It was really a leap.
It confused a lot of people,
Yeah.
I think. I think it confused him because it started off like a really quite acerbic, strange, high concept thing, and then went to a sort of sweet romantic comedy.
Right.
And I remember I did a focus group. I didn't want to do one. They said, you got to do it anyway. Right? And we went somewhere in the valley, right, and 40 people. And then you have to hide at the back, and they asked questions, right? And what did they think about it? They go, yeah, they liked it. Yeah, they go, oh, yeah, fine. And there was one said, and then you didn't like it. I didn't like the religious undertones. I went, oh, okay, like that. And then, and did you spot anything? She put her hand up and said, oh, in the wedding they didn't have a posy. Oh, same woman, right? And then they get asked, is there anything you'd change? And this woman put her hand up and said, I'd put Jim Carrey in the lead. We can't do that. We can't change that.
Yeah, it's a little late. It's a little late.
I laughed out loud, and they people that went like that.
But it really was like a fable. You know what I mean? It was like a fable. And I don't think that we make film like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very unusual.
Yeah, it's very odd now, isn't it? I mean, Hollywood is Marvel, and the film industry is now sort of festivals where real films are seen, and they're both getting hammered by Netflix and TV that has been beating film for like 20 years, if I'm honest. You know, it started with HBO doing things like The Sopranos and The Wire, so much better than any movie, you know. And now, why pay $10 to go and see a film you might like, or that's just like one you saw last week, or start a new series on Netflix from around the world. I don't think I've watched an English production of something for about 2 years. These Scandi dramas. I mean, they're all stuff about serial killers, but Copenhagen and Belgium and you know, Israeli production. You've got the whole world now making the best of their country. Why are we focusing on what's on Channel 1 tonight? Well, it's crazy.
And also, comedically, Netflix just defended Tom Segura when they came up with all those. There was a lot of people offended about a certain word that he used, and that. Thank you. And Netflix basically.
They were shouting at you, by the way. They weren't. That was nothing to do with what you're talking about.
That happens to me once every show. That's kind of my audience catchphrase. But Netflix basically just said, "Hey, we have a lot of other shows. You know what I mean? We have a billion other shows."
It's the only answer you can give. It's not for you.
Yeah. But the networks, I guess, feel like they can't.
Well, because they're usually beholden to someone, which could be advertisers, which could be shareholders, which could be just public demand, and they cower and they break down and they give in.
Yeah.
And if you ignore it, it goes away. What can they do? What can they do? You didn't like it, fine. That's your right. It is your right not to like anything I do.
Yeah. I guess none of them like anything that you do. We just started clapping, like, yes.
You should celebrate. You should celebrate my right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I often tweet. You won't like all my tweets.
Yeah.
Just to remind them.
But how many? You and I know quite a few people that have been pulled down because of something they've tweeted, or they've at least lost that platform.
Yeah, I don't know why, because. You know, I know people apologise because they're promoting a movie and the studio makes them and they want the big bucks for the movie, or they work for someone, a network, and it's taken away. They've got a handcuffs deal, but if you totally work for yourself, which I do, and you can walk away from anything because you don't, then you're bulletproof. I mean, I'm not, unless I break the law, and I'm not going to break the law because I'm scared.
I know that
I'll end up in a cell with Bill Cosby.
That'll be one funny show, though. I'll tell you that. The two of you together.
But at least I know I'll sleep.
Like a rock. I know. He just yelled, "Genius!" I know you have I was talking to you about this upstairs. You have a project coming up that you're very excited about. It has something to do with the website.
Oh, VossRoast.com.
Yes, Voss Roast.
I've heard a lot about it.
Yes.
Just upstairs, actually. I heard a lot about it. Where is he?
Yeah. One of the most horrible thing I've ever seen in my life is Voss just came to us before and said, "Could you just somewhere in the interview mention VossRoast.com?" There he is, right there. Under that light. Yeah, keep your shirt on. It looks like you're on your way to play canasta with that hat.
Oh, God.
Looks like somebody's going to run in and tell us Castro passed away. Rich Voss, everybody.